it again in 2011. They resume right after this.
One World Series champion Arizona Diamondbacks, Brad Steinke. Pleasure to be joined by the man whose vision became a reality, bringing Major League Baseball to Phoenix. Jerry, you and I stood here almost in the same spot, March 31st, 1998, the first ever Diamondbacks game. Did you ever envision that 4 short years later you'd be celebrating a World Series championship?
No, anyone who would say they could predict something like that would be special. Yeah, you know, we wanted to win. We wanted to do it sooner rather than later. You know, not many opportunities come by when you have a chance to win a championship, and we decided we were going to go for it. And in order to do so, we had to make all the decisions that were made in terms of bringing in talent, and then there's no guarantee. But in our case, it all came together. It was an incredible experience for our community, for our fans, for this organization. And, you know, I've said it over and over again. Given a second chance, I do the same thing all over again because it was the right thing at the time.
You've been a part of so many incredible sports memories. Does anything come close to comparing to that magnificent run through the postseason, culminating with a Game 7 win over the New York Yankees?
No, the drama that was involved because of 9/11, the fact that we were in the World Series is faster than any team in the history of baseball as an expansion team. All of those things just made it so very, very special. And you know, I've been blessed with a lot of success in sports. Winning a gold medal in Beijing, certainly in basketball, was a big deal. But, you know, when you're doing something in your home city and you win a championship, a World Series, the first for Arizona sports, it made it everything it should have been.
Jerry, great to see you back at the ballpark. And D-back fans, thank you for bringing a World Series championship to Arizona. Guys, we'll send it back to you. He was the architect of the World Series championship back in 2001. Darren and Gracie have the call in just a bit.
Play slots with your Players Club card at any Gila River casino. You could win $2,000 to $20,000 right away. Right now, get to Jack in the Box, where for a limited time, Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back, and it's only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. Well, a wonderful ovation for the 2001 World Champs, and I would imagine the team that's in first here in 2011 will get a little bit of love as well for what they have accomplished to this point. They're nowhere near world champs yet, but what they have done, I should say, has been beyond unexpected, has been some kind of special. And for that young man, as we take a look at Wade Miley getting ready to go to work, the 24-year-old left-hander, I would imagine some nerves as he got ready with all this going on around him. This is just Miley's 5th Major League start. Let's take a look at the starting lineup that he will face. Brought to you by our good friends and penciled in by Bud Black. It's Cameron Maben, Jason Bartlett, Jesus Guzman, Kyle Blanks with Kristen Orfia back, and he can be dangerous. James Darnell, Luis Martinez, Alberto Gonzalez, and Tim Stauffer. So he is 24, and he made his Major League debut in Atlanta, where his heroes played. He was a Braves fan. He works here tonight in front of a capacity crowd that's clearly in a lather right now. You and I talked about this earlier today. By the way, Gracie, congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much, Darren. That was something special. I'm not at a loss for words very often, but I kind of am right now. No. So pick me up for a little while.
No, I understand that you are, so I'll put you right to work.
Okay, thank you.
You have the emotions that you go through being remembered. This guy has experienced none of them, but I would imagine a bit anxious.
Yeah, I would imagine so. This is it's the biggest crowd of the season. It's the there's been a lot go on prior in the last 30 minutes prior to Wade Miley taking the mound. You've had Ken Kendrick give all kinds of speeches. You've had Bob Brimley give all kinds of speeches to us back behind the scenes, back inside the annals of Chase Field, and we've had toasts. We've had all kinds of recognition of boy. I'll tell you what. After listening to all of us talk, boy, we were really good.
You guys were good. You're only
just
a world champ once.
Just ask us. But it was, just listen to the ovations that Randy Johnson got and Kurt Schilling got and Gonzo and all the guys. And seeing Matt Williams, still in the uniform. And all these players, all today's players. And, folks, I want to make sure these players are a big reason why I think people have been watching and why people have been coming to the ballpark. Not the ones from 10 years ago. We've had our time, and it was nice of the Diamondbacks to do this for us because, gosh, boy, that was first class all the way.
Left field on a line. It's played on a hop out there by Gerardo Parra. Base hit by Cameron Maben to start things off against Miley. Continue.
But these guys are writing their own chapter this year. At this point in the season, the 2011 Diamondbacks have a better record than the 2001 Diamondbacks did on this date. So this has been a special squad as well, the 11 chapter.
Well, we're celebrating, no doubt. We're celebrating, and I always kind of personalize it because I wasn't around. I didn't work here back then, and for me, it was a wonderful trip down memory lane for all these folks to join them. Being one of the newer kids, even though 5 years, being one of the newer kids on the block, I was reminded, I've heard a lot about it, but the noise I heard in this ballpark, I haven't heard since I've been here.
This place can get loud.
I haven't heard that.
It hasn't been for the last few years, but it can get loud. And I have a feeling it's going to get a lot louder as this season goes on.
Miley fires a strike to Jason Bartlett. 0-1 the count. Well, throughout the evening, if you will humor us on occasion, we have some guests coming in. Bob Brenly will join us. Kurt Schilling will join us here in the booth. We'll also have some members of the team that Brad will find and talk to. But I'd love a few that you can tell of the stories behind the scenes as this ball game goes along. 0-2 the count, Jason Bartlett. This crowd wants to cheer tonight. You can just feel it.
Absolutely, and Wade Miley gave him a lot to cheer about there with a beautiful changeup.
Kirk Gibson made sure that his guys were all out, full uniform, and taking it all in.
And almost to a man, they all love the purple colors.
And they're wearing them all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We should have told folks that. Runner takes off. He could be picked off with an accurate throw. He's done.
Beautiful play by Lyle Overbay. A bit of an errant toss on the pickoff throw, but Lyle Overbay, being the good athletic first baseman that he is, snares it down around ankle high, and then a strike to John McDonald, who blocks the base perfectly. And an easy out. Wade Miley says, yeah, nice job there, Lyle Overbay.
Again, Miley's 5th major league start as he misses away. 1-2 the count. Jason Bartlett. Last time out, Miley in Colorado beat the Rockies. Went 7 innings, gave up 2 runs. Breaking ball misses in. Started the year in Double-A in Mobile, where he had nearly a 5 ERA. Based on need, he earned a promotion. Fouled off to the right side, and it's interesting because based on need, he pitched better. It wasn't based on performance. It was based on need that he was moved up. Well, he got better in AAA. Based on need, he was moved to the major leagues. Only need, he got better in the big leagues. Rare.
A guy that can rise to the occasion. Now he's gone from 0-2 to 3-2 here on Jason Bartlett, who's putting a good at-bat on him.
Pitching coach Charles Nagy taking it all in. For the newer Diamondbacks fans, Nagy will identify him in the purple. Some of you have gotten used to seeing them over the last few years, but Arizona, the players got together last night. They played well. They were comfortable with it. They decided, now let's wear them all weekend. That's a player's choice, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think it's also the manager's choice. Oh, a 3-2 changeup. Wade Miley finally wins that battle. Beautifully executed.
Now, we may not be giving Miley enough credit as we see this changeup.
Just having the guts to throw it on 3-2 early in the ball game shows me a lot. This kid's got some poise.
He's got some poise, and you know what? Again, we may be selling him short. He may love this atmosphere.
Oh, and the reason I say he's got poise is because he pitches at his best when runners are in scoring position.
No, there's no doubt. He gets himself, you call him the man that lives out on the tightrope. And he does live out on the tightrope. He has a bunch of base runners coming in 23 innings, 37 base runners. Fastball up and away. 1-1 the count. Jesus Guzman. Hard hit out to second. Hill gobbles it up. 1, 2, 3 with the caught stealing. Go the San Diego Padres. Enroll now for the Fry's D-Backs Rewards Program and earn points by buying participating items at Fry's. Kia Motors. To learn more, visit phxkia.com. On deck, getting ready with Gerardo Parra, who has been one of many to be on a roll for the Diamondbacks. Let's take a look. 1 through 9 is penciled in by 2011, maybe National League Manager of the Year. Stay tuned. Kirk Gibson, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com and /Yahtzee. And if you do so, you can win some rapid rewards points. It's Parra, it's Hill, it's Upton, Miguel Montero, Jeff Blum, Chris Young, Lyle Overbay, John McDonald, and Wade Miley. He's 29 years old. He's out of the University of Richmond. He was a reliever and a good one, a swingman last year. He's been a starter all year, and on a club that's a losing team, a pretty good year for Tim Stoff.
Yeah, very much so. Got off to a very good start throwing the baseball. Just didn't get much offense. I guess everybody can kind of say that with the San Diego starting rotation. But he's got a good sinking fastball and a good breaking ball behind it.
Very workmanlike. I mean, really loves to throw strikes. Just hammer the strike zone as he faces Parra. Parra late on that one, lifts it down the line, on a line. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes on Gerardo, who in his last 11 games has 15 hits, and he's walked a bunch too, so in his last 11, his on base is almost 500. Pitches up. That's the other thing he's not afraid to do. He'll cut it in when he needs to a left-handed hitter. Not a strikeout pitcher by any means. He pitches to hit the bat to use his defense. Change up. Nice hang around.
As you said, Stauffer just continued to pound the strike zone. And Parra up there just battling now at 0-2.
29-year-old right-hander. Fastball is low. 1-2 the count. If you're going to go get a beverage, do it quickly. Curt Schilling will join Gracie and I in the next half inning. Bouncing ball right side in between hop. Stauffer got over there, made it look easy. Let's take a look defensively for Bud Black's San Diego Padres. Kyle Blanks, Cameron Maben, a real good one in center. Chris Denorfia can play anywhere on the field. Think Willie Bloomquist when you think Denorfia. Darnell, Bartlett, Gonzalez, and Guzman with Luis Martinez doing the catching. And he hammers the Diamondbacks.
Oh.
He just takes them to school, and you can put him anywhere on the field. He's a lot like Willie.
And not a big home run hitter unless he's facing the Diamondbacks.
That's exactly right.
Wake up.
Aaron Hill, he woke up, what was it, about 2 weeks ago? In the middle of a 12-game hitting streak, and a big one. I mean, a lot of hits in that time. Kelly Johnson went to Toronto. Hill came here along with John McDonald. What turned him around? Was there certain approaches that you noticed that might have been different for Hill?
Well, I didn't really see him play much.
Enough.
Yeah, in the American League. Just not enough. He was part of a Blue Jays squad that, well, they were just up there to slug it over the fence. There was no trying to go the other way. There was no two-strike approach. Oh, he got robbed. Alberto Gonzalez stealing one from him.
He's trying to do it right there, wasn't he? I mean, that's what we've seen. A lot of his base hits have looked like that.
But with the Toronto Blue Jays, Cito Gaston and Dwayne Murphy, also the hitting coach and former Diamondback hitting coach, they were up there to slug it out of the ballpark. He's come over here with a little different approach as far as mentally with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He can just go out and play his game.
Pitch is outside on the corner. Don't forget, join us next half inning. We'll speak with Curt Schilling.
Next half inning?
Yes, next half inning.
Next, okay.
We only have one out. You know, we wouldn't want to, if he were to happen to be here, you know, bring him in and give him one
if
batter.
He was sitting between us right now?
If that were to happen, we wouldn't want. That wouldn't be fair to,
okay.
Yeah,
it
to
wouldn't
do
be
that.
fair to Curt.
All right. 0-2 the count on Justin Upton. He's playing a good broadcaster these days, so he knows if he's being pinched out. That one's on the inside corner, and that's why we didn't bring him in. I mean, he might or might not be here, and Curt Schilling will join us.
Well, he's here.
When we come back. We'll talk baseball with this man and a lot more. today, 216 overall in his big league career. A lot of Diamondbacks fans remember his wins back in 2001. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Kurt Schilling joins us up here in the broadcast booth.
Oh, man. Good to see you.
Well, your initial response, I picked his brain already, to what you experienced. You've been cheered a lot, both you guys in your career. What was that like down there?
It was great. It was great for the collective experience. Being around these guys, we haven't seen a lot of us haven't seen each other in a long time. Being able to get back on the field and say thank you to them. They were as much a part of this. Every memory I have of 01 has to do with either the fans in the stands here or in New York, and it was a magical time.
Kurt Schilling joining us in the broadcast booth. And so when you saw all these guys, you gathered together, but then you hear the crowd. I think a lot of people overlook Arizona as a great baseball destination. This is your place. This is where you played high school baseball. You were at Yavapai as well. I would imagine you're proud to come back and also to see what the club's doing this year.
It is. It's nice. It offends people in Boston when they ask me about what one was more special, and I say, well, 01 and 04 were the same for me. I grew up here. This was my home. True. This is where I came from. So being on that first World Championship team in the history of the state was a big deal.
Well, it doesn't take much to offend Red Sox fans, though, does it?
No.
I mean,
you just say something bad about the Yankees to get back on the good side. But yeah, but it's a different kind of passion. You know, the Red Sox fans are on their 5,000 straight sellout, and out here, out west, it's around winning. And you know, in this day and age, with the economy being what it is, and you can't blame people for paying attention to how they spend their discretionary income. It's great to see these guys doing well. This is, you've got a tremendous coaching staff here, and I think that's as much to do with how they're feeling about themselves this late in the year as anything.
When you were moved here in the trade, did you think it would happen so quickly? I mean, you're a wise baseball man. You see the game, as a pitcher, and pitchers, especially the way you see the game now as an analyst. Did you think this club would be this good, this fast in 01?
Oh, in 01, absolutely.
Yeah, really?
Oh, absolutely. After the first week of spring training for me, we knew we were good.
That's what I
real good.
Really?
And that was every World Series team I was on, every postseason team that I was on, it was the same way. The first week. And it's just a matter of coming out of spring training and in true Bull Durham fashion, we announced our presence with authority that opening series in L.A., and I felt we kind of rode that out the year.
Kurt Schilling joining us up in the broadcast booth. On the personal side, tell us a little bit about 38 Studios. Tell us a little bit about one of your passions. It's Reckoning?
Yes, that's our
coming
first
in
game.
February?
Our first game is being launched February 7th in the United States, February 10th in Europe. And here's some footage from one of our latest trailers.
Whoa!
It's a company. We have about 360 people headquartered in Providence, Rhode Island. And you can check it out at reckoning.com and 38studios.com as well. Todd McFarlane is involved. R.A. Salvatore is a New York Times best-selling author, is involved as well. And it's the thing that's I'm far busier now than I ever was when I played. I look back, I've never had to work a day in my life. I've been doing things I love to do, and this is another one.
I see him work on challenges as a broadcaster. You guys, and you're going through it now, you guys need challenges, you former athletes, don't you?
I think I've said I don't miss anything about being on the field. I honestly don't. I don't miss anything about being on the field, and that's not to disrespect the game.
And I really don't either, Kurt.
I don't. But I want to be better than somebody at something. And for me, it was getting into the video game industry. It's a passion I've had. I want to be the best in the world at it. And that's being able to teach young people what it means to be a part of something bigger than themselves is a very powerful thing for me.
Yeah, I tell people I haven't gone 0 for 4 in 8 years. It's great. It's great. And also, I think, Kurt, and you can agree or disagree with me, but you get to a point in your career where you just can't do the things you were able to do as a young player. So it's like, okay, I need to put this game and this game we love so much in the rearview mirror. But fortunately, we've been able to stay around it with a microphone and whatnot, and we watch the guys that can play it at a great level.
Yeah, like I said, I've never had to work a day in my life. Oh,
unfortunately, kicked too far away from McDonald. It was a great effort to get to that ball, and even if that bobble is near him, then he's able to turn around and get a force out, but he ended up kicking it about 70 feet away.
Yeah, I think Chris Young and Gerardo Parra, I think they were playing somewhere in East Mesa. So they weren't able to get that high pop. I mean, that had some hang time, that pop-up. That wasn't really like a Texas leaguer at all. I mean, this thing has a lot of hang time. McDonald can't make the play, then he kicks it. And then just start the merry-go-round.
We heard what he just did there. You're doing more and more of it as well, along with your company, along with being a family man, too. Are you enjoying the radio work? Are you enjoying the analysis? I hear you quite a bit.
I enjoy the group of people I work with. Steve Berthiaume, Carl Ravitch, Larkin, and those guys. Great group of guys. I love to talk about pitching. And they kind of keep it to that, so it makes it easy. That's what I've done my whole life. That's one of the things I feel like I know as well as anybody. So when they ask me a pitching question, I can talk about pitching. I feel like I can talk about it in a way that gives fans some insight into kind of what it was like to do what we did.
It's kind of fun seeing these guys, Kurt, and I'm sure you see them enough since you cover the sport, seeing a couple of younger pitchers get to 200 innings in early September and have Kirk Gibson kind of set the standard that I'm not going to tell you 6 and 3 is a quality start. I'm going to laugh at that. I need you going 7 or more. Gibson's kind of setting that standard that I know you lived by.
Well, you pitch into the rotation with Randy Johnson, and there's a very different bar. A quality start was a loss. A quality start is absolutely a loss in October. I think it's something on the neighborhood of 65% of quality starts in the regular season result in wins, and about 30% in October do.
Well, he's got to get there, and he does to the bag.
And that's what it is. It's about pitching exceptional. It's about pitching perfect. And, I think with Ian and Daniel at the top of this rotation, 2 power guys, they're potentially positioned nicely. I mean, you're going to have to go through Philadelphia, I think, no matter what, to get to October. But, you start looking at some of those lineups in the American League, and it can be somewhat daunting. Because you look, I was thinking about this last night about pitching. If I'm going to face Arizona in the postseason, I'm going to let Justin walk down to first base, and I'm going to make the rest of that lineup beat.
Make Miguel Montero beat you.
Yeah, and so those guys are going to have to step up because the Holidays of the world, the Cliff Lees of the world, they're not going to let Justin Upton beat them. And it's going to be on him to not get out of his game offensively and not get out of the strike zone and be patient, and he's just going to have to hit the few pitches he gets to swing at.
Let's talk about some pitchers for the Arizona Diamondbacks. What's your take on Ian Kennedy this year? Has he surprised you? He has me.
Not surprising. Anytime you see, he's taken the next step. He's done what you have to do to go from being a potential good pitcher to realizing that potential. He's going to realize very quickly. It's one of the things that Randy always talked about. 1 year is awesome. It's great. I want to see you do it for 600, 700, 800 consecutive innings. And they're at 202, 203 innings. They're going to finish the season at 220-ish. And when you look back on statistics to me that matter, I want 235 innings out of my number one. That's because innings are to me the ultimate stat for a starting pitcher. If I throw those innings, all the other numbers take care of themselves. And and that was the thing. In 2001, I think I threw 308 innings, and that was the stat that I. But
you should be proud of that.
But that was Randy pushing me. I mean, Randy was out there, and if Randy went 6 and gave up 3, people were like, "Hey, are you hurt?" It's just a different bar, and I'd like to see those two guys hopefully competing against each other in a real healthy way, and because they're gonna ride those two guys as far as they go.
And I'm going to continue on that. I remember in 2002 we went to Boston, and you beat Pedro Martinez. Pedro was 6-0 going into that game, and you beat Pedro, I believe, 2-1 or 3-2, whatever it was. But anyway, Pedro goes 7 innings. He gives up 2 runs. And after the game, all the Boston media was coming up to me and asked, what's wrong with Pedro?
Yeah.
7 innings, 2 runs. Was his velocity down? Does he look hurt to you? But that's the kind of bar we're talking about.
And that's what Randy dealt with his entire career. And in a sense, it's somewhat, you can call it fair or unfair, but the bottom line is he's the greatest left-handed power pitcher of all time. And so he wasn't allowed to have success and failure like everybody else. And like I said, I rode that. I absolutely fed off of it. And I always wanted to outpitch him because I wanted him to pitch something exceptional, and I wanted to do better. And I think we had some of that through the staff, B.A. and Miguel Batista and those guys. I think they felt a push to keep themselves competitive because we were in it all year.
Also, another guy I want to ask you about on the Diamondbacks is the closer, J.J. Putz. Reminds me a lot of you, Shill, except obviously not a starter, but a hard thrower with a split and just an occasional something spinning, but lots of strikeouts, relatively no walks. Do you see at all yourself in JJ?
It's a challenge in the sense that his body of work is generally about 10 minutes long. Right. So it's much more on him to have fastball command than it would. I'd go out in the first inning. I want my fastball command. I want to feel the corners, and I want to know what the umpire's doing and where I can manipulate my strike zone with him. He's over and done in a hitter or two. So he doesn't have the ability to go out there and
belted deep right center field. Run down out there. That'll drive in a run. Continue your thought.
No, I was going to say he doesn't have the ability to get a feel. He's got to go out. He's got to not just he doesn't have to have command. He has to have control within the strike zone from pitch one. And some of his outings can be 7 pitches long, and the game can turn on him. And so I was never ever good at that job. I tried it a couple times, and it was too much of a challenge for me. And you have to have a great mindset. You have to have no memory. And I think these days you have to be a very power pitching guy. But you can't do it with 3 pitches. You really can't, because you're not going to get enough. You're not going to get enough at bats and enough pitches in an inning to work 3 pitches in.
And we don't have enough minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Man, that's great.
Thanks. Good to see you, Grace.
Hopefully a baseball Hall of Famer. That man should be a Hall of Famer. Looking forward to his opportunity. Curt Schilling. Before 6 o'clock here in the great state of Arizona. It's getting a little bit more and more mild out there, which is nice. By the way, I think you'll love our Kia text poll tonight. You may hear from Kia, by the way, if you choose to play along. They'll drop you a note right back to you. That is the reminder. Well, which one of the 0-1 Diamondbacks do you think could play today? Suit it up and get out there and get it going. Is it A, Matt Williams, B, Reggie Sanders, C, Gonzo, or D, Gracie?
It ain't me.
Which one can play today? A, B, C, or D? 36929. And I'm told, according to Kevin Towers, that whoever you choose will play tonight, later on in the ballgame.
Well, don't choose me, folks.
See? Look at that.
Oh, no.
All right.
Not happening.
It's going to be down there in purple, just like the old days. Robbie Hammock will have to give him number 17, as that one is low and inside, because he swiped his number. 1-0 the count to Miguel Montero. I kid about the contract, by the way. Don't get too excited. That's how rumors start, isn't it?
Trust me. I would hurt myself if I went down there and tried to hit these young studs these days. I want zero part of it.
Speaking of hurt and healing, a young man that's much younger than all of us, Stephen Drew down there, for the second consecutive night. He's become a sight for sore eyes. It's been nice to see him. Really good to see him. Montero takes that cut fastball and fouls it off. Well, as expected, Mr. Schilling never shy with his thoughts, his opinions.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't take, and he is such an analytical guy. And all you got to do is just ask him a couple questions and then sit back and enjoy it. And he was the most prepared starting pitcher I ever played with. The most prepared. I mean, there was nothing that a hitter could do that surprised him.
Swing and a miss, and down he goes after cutters in. That pitch is away. Jeff Blum now, 7 of 26 with a double and a couple of homers. And 5 RBIs, coming back from multiple injuries this year. He had a nice road trip. Drove in a couple of key runs, also homered in Denver, Colorado.
Well, this guy doesn't throw anything out of the strike zone, does he? Quality strikes.
I do have to ask you, and I was going to ask Schilling. We had the graphic all up, and I wanted to delve into it, but then Stauffer ended the inning. Did Randy and Kurt, did they like each other at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to stir things up, folks. I'm just curious.
Of course you are, but
a little bit.
No, I think they were competitive with each other, and I think you heard it in Kurt's voice. You know that I wanted to outpitch Randy, and he used Randy's success to make him better. And I think Randy on the reverse side, as that one's blooped in there by Jeff Blum for a base hit here with one out in the bottom of the second inning.
Good to see.
And I think they used each other to make each other better. But they were together a lot. Now, they played golf together on their off days and whatnot. And I think there was a time when, like, for instance, their personalities are very, very different. Randy is is basically he's an introverted guy. He's not a guy that likes to go out and talk about himself. You'll never hear Randy go out and talk about how great he is and was. Whereas there's not a more extroverted guy than Kurt Schilling. And, Kurt is a guy that's very comfortable with a microphone in his hand or with a camera on him, whereas Randy, I think, shies away a little bit. And I think in a lot of ways, those two maybe they're looked at as resentful of each other because one guy says a lot more than the other, and it'll come across that they don't like each other. But I think that's wrong.
Good.
I think that's wrong.
2-0 the count. I think I'll believe you. I'll decide if all the things you said I know were the truth.
I got an idea. Why don't you ask them?
I was going to, but then Stauffer popped out to right field. We had the graphic. I was ready. I was raring. I told the guys in the truck, all right, here comes the money question. And then he popped up to right field. What a treat. What a treat to hear him just analyze things, to hear you two analyze things together.
We spent a lot of time on airplanes and in clubhouses breaking down the game of baseball. He wanted to know about hitters as that one's fouled down the left field line. He wanted to know about, Gracie, what are you trying to do as a left-handed hitter? What did you try to do against me? And I would tell him what my game plan was against Kurt. And he would take that and he would use it against certain left-handed hitters that he was going to face that night. So, as you can see, Greg Schulte and Mike Fetters saying absolutely nothing. It's all Kurt.
And that's hard for me to stop talking. You know that. I really struggled with that.
But look how passionate it is. All he wants to do is talk baseball as that one gets away, and Jeff Blum decided to stay at first base.
Padres with a pair of runs, by the way, in the second inning while Mr. Schilling talked about baseball. It started with a walk, a double followed. Darnell with a ground out against Kirk Gibson's club. Alberto Gonzalez with a pretty well-struck ball for a sacrifice fly. So that's where we stand. Arizona having to come back. Milwaukee and Philadelphia tied at 2. Bouncing ball. What a different team in so many ways, as you have well documented. And another way they're very different is that team in 2001 was much older. I mean, look at the hitters. A 4-year difference hitters, a 5-year difference pitchers. The difference in age there.
We were a crusty old crew. The oldest team in baseball. But we could play.
I don't think anyone's ever doubted that. Down the line, in there. Young is on the move. Out front is Blum. Matt Williams says, I need you. Coming on down to the plate. Standing up. Kicked just enough by Blanks. This crowd is enjoying it. They've been wanting to cheer again.
Don't look now, but Chris Young starting to get some big hits again, folks. 2 hits last night, including a double, and scored the go-ahead run. Now driving in the first one for the purple-clad Arizona Diamondbacks. He gets a little slider and just rifles it down the left field line. Kicks around just enough on Kyle Blanks. Matty, come on, Jeff Blum. I know you're old like Grace was back in 01, but I need you to score on this thing. Come on, Jeff. Oh, yeah, look at him gritting his teeth. This game's easy, isn't it, Jeff?
Thank you, old man, for huffing and puffing around the bases for that RBI for me with that surgically repaired knee. Boy, what a rousing ovation. If you just joined us, obviously Gracie and Kurt Schilling and Gonzo received a huge ovation when they were introduced, but so did this young man. Well, he had 2 at-bats that year.
He was part of all those guys you saw, the 40-something guys that were out there. They all had a hand in that championship.
And they all received really loud ovations. Lyles was a step above some of the reserves, only because I think he's back.
And he got the game-winning hit last night.
That's exactly right.
That also helps.
Yeah, they're excited to see him back. And a lot of people in the park tonight, we realize, maybe coming to their first Diamondbacks game this year. High fly ball, well struck toward the gap. In left center field. Overbay off the wall. Young will score easily. Lyle ties it up.
This place is loud. Very loud. Sellout crowd. Loving what they're seeing. That's another reason they cheered for Lyle Overbay. About 400 feet worth of double to left center field. Takes a 2-0 fastball. He doesn't miss it. Drills it over the head of Maben, right off the middle of the wall. Chris Young scores easily. And just like that, we got a tie game. And Ryan Roberts, you know he's excited.
I've never seen dugout reaction at Foxmore. I like that.
I think Don Baylor was trying to distance himself as much as possible there from Ryan Roberts.
1-0 the count. That's the funny thing about Ryan Roberts. You run from him on occasion if you're a coach or a teammate, but you wouldn't want him on anybody's team but your own.
You can't help but love him. He is a ball of energy.
And he looks like an unmade bed down there tonight.
He does.
I mean, just...
Now, he really likes the purple.
Does he like it?
He really likes it. The only problem, he said, but the only problem, Gracie, is I didn't get any hits.
No.
I said, yeah, but you won the baseball game. He goes, that's right.
The 1-1. Pitch is low.
Best energy we've had all year in this building, Darren.
Not even close. A quick reminder, every time a Diamondback hits a homer, Fulton Homes donates $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. This rivals anything I've heard in my 5 years here. Pitch is high and away. 3-1 the count to McDonald. Miley waits on deck. Now, John, 6 of 28 as a Diamondback. But bigger picture, going back to July the 4th as a part-time player, he's hitting .320. Outside in the dirt, there's a walk.
Well, listen up, Darren Sutton and folks at home. Be one of the first 15,000 fans to the game on September 24th when the Diamondbacks host the Giants and get a Ryan Roberts fan vote bobblehead courtesy of American Family Insurance. 4 tickets. 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com. I want one of those.
Can we get him a skateboard? I mean, he looks like he needs a skateboard tonight. He kind of has that look going.
He's got a little skater look to him tonight.
Tonight he got the flat brim cap.
Yeah, like X Games.
Very well said. Squares to bunt. Bunted it a couple of times. Was still in the batter's box, so that's a foul ball. 0-1 the count on Wade Miley. Now, Wade 1 of 8. Drove in a run with it. He also has a sacrifice bunt. Did pretty good work in the minor leagues with the bat in his hand, and we've seen him. He's a good athlete. So you would expect him to get this down.
He has showed very good athleticism in the short time up here in the big leagues. You want to bunt this ball firmly to third if you can. That one's taken outside, 1-1.
Now, me personally, I'd love to see him drive it in the gap.
Really? You think he can't do you? I think Gerardo Parra has been one hot Diamondback. He's on deck, and I think right now, a little upset Kirk Gibson right there for all you lip readers.
Drops it down, off the mound, Stauffer fires, gets that lead runner in Overbay. Made it easy for him, right up the walkway toward the pitcher's mound.
That's why you want to bunt that ball firmly to the third baseman. Make the third baseman field it instead of the good athlete that Stauffer is on the mound. He just pounces on it. Quick spin and a strike over to third base to get Overbeck.
Now you're talking about that hot hitter who'll have to get it done without the runners being advanced. There are 2 outs. Here is Parra. About 50 points better his batting average at home. They play him as a right-handed pull hitter almost in the outfield. And a solid take on a tantalizing changeup, 1-0. They know Parra, rarely will he pull the ball, especially toward that pool out there in right center field, so there's a lot of room. Into the dirt it goes again, 2-0 with a fastball. I mean, there's your difference. Pitch stayed high, off speed, 3-0 the count. You want to talk about hot hitters, there's really a hot hitter on deck.
Exactly right. And just about all year, Diamondback hitters have had the 3-0 green light, so I'm going to assume Parra, if he gets something to his liking, you're going to air it out.
Right down the middle, 3-1 is the count. Driven in toward that gap. Racing over. He has plenty of room. Is Maben. He was playing him the other way, but he came on down to get it done. Chris Young coming up with some timely hits, as Gracie mentioned. This man started coming up with timely hits back in 2001. Good to have you back, Lyle Overbay. Colangelo walking through, Greg Swindell, and so many of the 2001 Diamondbacks. It's just simple. Back to the Future.
Wow, what a great movie. DeLorean.
Lyle feels like he's ridden in one.
That's a good key to the game.
No, thank you. I didn't come up with it. Rubio Durazo came up with that.
Really?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Ruby was out there with us.
Yep, he came up with that key to the game. He ran into our producer, Jason Lewis, on the way in, had a thought in his head, shared it with him. So he thinks Back to the Future. He'd like to see this 2011 team take a run into the postseason like the 2001 team did. And so, Rubio, good stuff.
Nice going, Ruby. Good to have you back as well.
Fouled off of the play. 0-2 the count. Important, I think, for Miley. He's going second time through now. Kind of reestablish his spot in this ball game. And he hopes it's a good spot.
Well, he got in trouble last inning with a couple of walks. He walked 2. He gave up 2 runs.
Kind of a funky play, and I know we had Kurt Schilling. We were talking with him, but a funky play with McDonald trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch. Ball kicks quite a ways away from him.
And that's true. So, that was a bad break, certainly. But the 2 walks weren't bad breaks.
No, I agree with that. Pitch is high, 2-2 the count. His last time out, he went 7 innings at Colorado, gave up 2 runs, he walked 3. It was a 10-7 win. There were some late runs, but of the 91 pitches, 74 fastballs. There's a fastball, there's a base hit. Now there's a change. He had him out front. Correct myself there, folks. So Cameron Maben 2 for 2 in the ballgame.
Not a bad change up. Maybe did a good job of staying back and just rifling it into left field.
Jason Bartlett struck out back in the first inning. Don't forget Bob Brenly will join us a little bit later on in the show. I know Brad Steinke is up in the Diamondbacks 2001 champion suite, and he will find a guy or two along the way to chat with. So hang with us, and then we've got this 2-2 ball game. Well, they are up there. That's good to see Bob Welch. I hadn't seen him in a long time.
What a great pitching coach he was. He's another guy that made Kurt Schilling and Randy Johnson better.
He's one of my father's old teammates in the 70s, so I've been seeing him for many years. We're looking for Mark Grayson there, folks.
Well, no, I'm right here. Hi, Jay. Hi, Greg Swindell.
So you were on your way up. I mean, as I picture, you were all excited. Hey, great introduction. You're fist pumping with your teammates.
Right.
All right, let's go have a good snack. Boy, I say it's gourmet. Maybe a cold one we'll toast together. And somebody redirected you to the booth.
Well, I had asked.
Bouncing
Double
ball.
play ball.
If they hurry it on the turn, and they did. Maben came in hard. Hill got out of the way and fired it on. A double play. That's the second rolled up in the big leagues by Miley in his 5th start.
Well, John McDonald and Aaron Hill certainly have played together a long time. They came over for Kelly Johnson, and they turned that about as well as you can do it. And that'll get Miley right out of trouble. 2 quick outs. But, yeah, I was on my way up to join the festivities up there with the older rascals. And, no, Mark, Darren's up there by himself. I said, well, that's just the way he likes it. And then, well, no, you have to go help him. I'm like, well, all right. So I apologize, Darren.
Well, here's the thing. I do love just talking, but I also like having a Q rating and people being interested in our show, so that's why you're here. I mean, you bring the world championship, the analysis. People don't care what I say. Belted. Up against that wall out there in center field with a high hop. Young will play it. Jesus Guzman, who has been a real treat for Bud Black.
That boy can hit.
It's 20 doubles, and it feels like he just got here.
I mean, flat out hit. He was retired in the first inning on a bullet to second base.
I'm told defensively we're going to take a look at things. It's brought to you by David Robleski and Associates. It's Parra, Young, and Upton. Blum, McDonald, Hill, and Overbay. And Miguel Montero behind the plate. So in the top of the 3rd, there's your defense.
Yeah, timing is everything. And I forgot what I was going to say now about Guzman.
Well, it's Kurt Schilling's fault. That's when we were supposed to get the defense in.
Oh, so we probably should have had him a different time.
So you blame Kurt.
I'm still ready for you to ask him just how much he dislikes people.
Just Randy. No one else, but
and I'm telling you, they got along wonderfully. I thank God for both of them, or I wouldn't have a World Series ring.
I believe the second thing you said, and that was well said by you.
Thank you.
The 0-1. A little chopper out towards short. On across in time for the out. Howard Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play. His number will never be worn again by a Diamondback. He is standing by with Brad. Brad, take it away with Luis Gonzalez.
That's right, joined by the guy who had the coolest hit in Diamondbacks history, Luis Gonzalez, and Tony Womack popping in as well. But, what a weekend. Some of these guys you haven't seen for quite some time. What has this been like just to get together with the guys who won something very special?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to reminisce, and not only that, but to get the reaction we did from the fans out there today has been incredible. It's been truly a very unique and special weekend for all of us.
That was a very special and unique team. What made that team come together so quickly? It happened in spring training.
Yeah, I think just the fact that it was an older bunch of guys, we all cared for each other, and we were a tight-knit group that got along from day one, and we held each other accountable, just as Gibby does with this team now, and that's why I think you're seeing the success that you're seeing now on the team with those guys. We were no different.
Such a remarkable, emotional World Series. I have to ask you, I'm sure you've answered this question a million times, but what's going through your mind when you see the field in front of you? You know that there's 2 outs, bottom of the ninth inning, World Series on the line. What goes through? How does your mind process that?
Well, I think before you get into the batter's box, there's so many things going through your mind about reminiscent of who's watching. All these people are counting on you, and you want to go up there and do a good job. And then once you get in the batter's box, it's almost like cruise control. You just focus in and lock in on what you have a task at hand. And for me, I was fortunate enough. You got a hit or a miss, and for me, it was able to get the hit.
You're a big part of this organization now, and you've seen what this team is doing out there. I had to marvel watching this year's team watch the video tribute of that 0-1 team and realize that something special can happen. You think this club has the right kind of chemistry and makeup to possibly make a run like that?
I do. I think it's a very unique group of guys in there, and it all starts at the top. Kevin Towers, the coaching staff that's here, and these guys have all gelled and bonded together, and nobody believed they can win, but those guys in the locker room do. And we passed the torch tonight. I mean, this was our chance to go out there and do that, but you know, it's their time now. And I think it was good for them to see all the guys and see that video, and it'll just inspire those guys to try to go out there and win a championship.
How great is it you have the World Series hit? They can never take that moment away from you.
Yeah, it's incredible just to go around town here, you know, 10 years later, and people still talk about it, where they were at and stuff. It's pretty special.
Gonzo, always great to talk to you. Thanks for your time.
All right, thanks, Brad.
Guys, we'll send it back to you. Mark Grace got that thing going with that single. Bottom of the ninth, guys.
Thank you very much. Looks like quite a gathering up there, and look forward to getting back with Brad here again in a bit.
Can't wait to get down there with him.
But no, you have to work. You're not allowed to go. 1-2 the count.
Fun.
Missed a spot. They wanted to shoot that fastball high in the zone, and it's good to hear from Gonzo. I know we rarely hear from him.
Well, we call it the Luis Gonzalez DB vision out there. DB TV, the big screen TV.
The 1-2. Right off the end of the bat, well-placed breaking ball, and Upton is erased. Bob Brenly will join us in the next half inning.
Good. Need to hear from the old skipper.
Now, I did not receive any sort of a heads-up email of things that I was supposed to ask him about, so we'll just have a conversation.
Well, one thing about Bob Brenly, he's a lot like Schilling. Even if you don't have much to ask him, he'll carry the load for you.
You two guys are two of the better color analysts going, so I may have just walk myself right out of the booth and let you guys take over.
Isn't it strange? He was the manager, though. And he is in Chicago, and I'm here.
It's interesting.
That's true. Just food for thought.
Legendary Cub, longtime Cub, most hits in the 90s in a Cubs uniform, and you're exactly right.
Brenly spent most of his career with the San Francisco Giants, was an all-star with the Giants, and then obviously the success he had here as a manager.
High fly ball, well struck into right center field. Bob Brenly will join us when we come back.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, then we'll hit for you right here. We'll get with you now.
I'm not going to come out unless I'm pitching them all, though.
Well, we don't know for sure if we'll need you. I mean, you know what I mean?
I mean, if it dictates that you need me to pitch, I mean, I'll be ready. Trust me.
Wow.
That's an interesting conversation there, Mr. Brenly. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
So, it's easy being the World Series manager, isn't it?
It is 10 years removed. It wasn't so easy back then, but no,
that's a tough decision to make, isn't it?
It is a tough decision, and I took a lot of heat for leaving Randy in that game as long as I did. But, you know, when you're in a World Series, you don't want to let anything slip away. And that was a good Yankees ball club. Even though we dominated them throughout most of the series, I didn't even want to give them the inkling that there was a window of opportunity, and the big boy was twirling, so we just kept sending him out there.
Especially after what they did to us the 3 previous games.
Right.
You wanted to keep that foot right on their neck, didn't you?
Absolutely. I mean, no disrespect to the Yankees, but we just didn't want to give them a breath of air. We didn't want to give them any momentum whatsoever, and Game 6, even though it turned out to be very lopsided, and I might have been able to pull Randy a little bit earlier, I didn't have any doubts he'd be able to come back in Game 7 if we needed him.
I'd love to know as that was tapped to the shortstop. Take that one, Bob Brenly.
No problems. I'll tell you what, the move you guys made to get these 2 middle infielders is going to pay huge dividends down the stretch. They can pick.
They're slick.
Yeah, real slick.
And when your defense improves tenfold up the middle, and that's when you're strong up the middle, and now they are very strong up the middle defensively.
Yeah, with Montero behind the plate and CY out there in center field, and it's a lot of things in baseball that were old tradition have kind of gone by the boards, but that's one that's tough to argue with. Strong defense up the middle.
Well, I've been talking to a lot of these guys. They like the purple. They like the purple, these guys.
I like the purple. I switched on the TV last night to check you guys out, and yeah, I had a flashback. I saw Lyle Overbay wearing the purple, and boy, it threw me back to Tucson when we were down there in spring training.
What'd you think of this tonight? I mean, you've been cheered many times in your life. What'd you think of how they handled it? What'd you think of seeing all your old players? How'd you feel about all this?
Well, seeing the players has been the highlight of the weekend. Gracie will tell you we had the little dinner Thursday night, and it was like we went from Game 7 to dinner Thursday night. It was like 10 years had not passed.
That is so true.
Everybody, giving big hugs, and great to see the families, and the kids have all grown up, and but it felt like yesterday that we were all together down in that dugout for Game 7 of the World Series. So, tonight has been wonderful. The fans have been great. I know the guys have had a great time, but that private time we got to spend on Thursday night was really special.
That's all we have for you there, Bob.
You got another half inning for us?
I can hang for a little while, yeah.
Gracie will pay you extra.
Okay.
He'll give you extra money. It's probably not much longer, though. The nights are getting very, very mild. And we know how it is out here. I mean, when you're talking about 90 in the evening, that's mild. We welcome Bob Brenly, who spends his winter times here. And quick question for you, because we saw the response here. They love that 0-1 team. And we've seen, the roller coaster in attendance this year for a very good team. I still think this is a baseball town.
Well, I think certainly we proved that in 0-1, Gracie. I think there are a lot of transplants here, people from all over the country. They come here with their Philly roots or their Met roots or whatever it happens to be. But if you give them a reason to come out here to the ballpark and watch the home team, they'll come out in big numbers. We saw that leading up to the postseason and then throughout the postseason in 0-1.
Any anxious moments when you first earned that job, your first ever job? Boy, you had a roster. But any anxious moments leading into it?
Oh, just about every day. I mean, I'd be lying if I said it was all a smooth ride. I mean, certainly it was easy because of the nature of our team, the veteran guys that knew how to play the game. I didn't have to do a lot of babysitting or policing because these guys took care of that clubhouse themselves. If somebody stepped out of line on the field, they were always right there at the top step of the dugout to take care of it. I was just a pusher. You know, every day, this is the biggest game of the season. This is the biggest game of the season. And, you know, just try to put these guys in a position where they could go out there and do what they did best. And more often than not, they went out and got it done.
I think he's not giving himself near enough credit, Darren. I think, honestly, I don't know of anybody else that could have managed that team to a world championship. You know, you get lots of people, you know, talk about Bobby Cox and Tony La Russa and Jim Leland, and deservedly so. These guys are great managers. But Bob Brenly, in my opinion, I don't know if Tony La Russa wins with that group of guys. I don't know if Bobby Cox wins with that group of guys, but this guy did.
Why?
Well, I think because he knew how to handle us. He took the time to get to know every single one of his players. I was different than Steve Finley. Gonzo was different than Damian Miller, and boy, was Randy and Kurt very different. So, but Bob understood when he could push me or when he needed to cradle me, and he also knew when Steve Finley was trying to figure out his biorhythms and when the planets were going to line up just right. So all these different guys, Bob Brenly had to learn, and he did. He took the time to get to know just when to push the buttons and then when to back off. And I think he got the best he possibly could have gotten out of all of us.
Were you a little bit Roger Craig, a little bit Dusty Baker? Were you a little bit the guys you played for?
Oh, absolutely. I think any manager, you take things from everybody, good, bad, or indifferent, and you try to learn from them, and you remember things in your playing career that meant a lot to you as a player. I remember things when I was coaching under Roger Craig and Dusty Baker that I liked, and maybe some things I didn't like. But, you know, ultimately, you've got to do it how you see fit. You know, Joe Garagiola Sr., bless his heart, used to sit next to my wife down here in the bleachers every night, and he used to keep telling her, tell him to keep doing it his way. Tell him to do what he thinks is right. There are a lot of voices in your ear, a lot of people telling you what to do, and I'm very thankful for the support of a lot of people, not only with the organization, but the regulars here at the ballpark. And it was just a tremendous ride. I can't imagine a better team for a first-year manager to take over.
You've been tied to many other jobs since then. Do you want to do it again?
You know, I don't know. I think that window may be closing, Darren.
Really?
I would like to get back on the field if the situation was right. But as we've seen so much, the continuity in that seat is very rare. There are not many Ron Garden hires. There are not many Bobby Coxes around anymore. You've got to win, and you've got to win right now, and you've got to do it in grand fashion, or we'll get somebody else in there to take your place. So if it was the right situation and the right team, I would like to get back on the field. But if it never happens again, I'm content. You know, I had my chance with the greatest team ever, and we did what we set out to do. And if it never happens again for me, that's fine.
Do you love what you do now?
I do. I mean,
how are things in Chicago?
It's not always easy watching the Cubs every day, but I've got a great partner there in Chicago in Len Casper.
Yeah, you do.
And WGN and Comcast Sportsnet have been great to me in Chicago. The organization has been great to me, and I don't need to tell you this, Gracie. Chicago in the summertime ain't bad.
There's a lot of fun to be had in that city. I've been told.
Yeah. But we still make our home here in Scottsdale, and you know, shortly after the season's over, we'll be back here in the Valley once again, and rooting for the Cardinals, rooting for the Suns, rooting for the Sun Devils, and anxiously awaiting spring training.
Do you ever find yourself? Do you ever talk to guys that you played with or against? Do you ever talk to Kirk Gibson or Bud Black or any of those guys? I know in your job, but do you ever sit down and actually try to break stuff down with them?
Yeah, you know, not a lot. I mean, it's all pretty. Buddy,
have you ever thought about maybe doing this, something like that?
No, I never offer up advice or
even as a World Series manager.
No.
Okay.
If they ask me, I'd be more than willing to talk about it. But you know, it's a very touchy situation.
It is,
I would, you know, I complimented Kirk Gibson on the way he's handled himself this year. I've seen some of the post-game interviews, some of the pre-game interviews, and the way he's handled some very tough questions.
Right.
And it seems to me like he's extremely focused on what needs to be done, and it seems to me that that's filtered down to the players. And so I complimented him on the way he's handled everything that's come his way this year. But, yeah, as far as advice on lineups or pitching rotations, I'll just sit back and be a fan.
He did it, and he's doing it his way, like Joe used to tell your wife. He's doing it the way he believes, like you did it.
Well, and that's what you have to do as a manager, because ultimately, no matter what kind of job Gibby does here, and I think he's going to be a real good manager for a long time, but if that time comes when the team doesn't perform up to expectations, there's a good chance he's going to get fired. And when you get fired and you're walking out that door, as long as you did what you felt was right in your heart, you can walk out that door with your head held high.
2-2 the count, out on one hop, played off by the side. Mr. Brentley, thank you.
Skipper.
Darren, always good to see you. Gracie, always a pleasure, brother.
The greatest manager of all time.
Nice.
According to me, he is.
Find out how you can play this fine game here at Chase Field. Go to the interactive kiosk near Section 111 during regular season home games. Gila River Casinos. There's a winner every time. There you go. A smiling winner every time. Wade Miley goes back to work. Mark Grace, Darren Sutton, Brad Steinke traveling around with the world champs in the 0-1 suite. And we're glad to have you with us. 0-1 the count. Alberto Gonzalez. Line drive, base hit, right field with a huge bat flip. He shoots it into right field. AT&T trivia question. Prior to 0-1, named the last World Series champion with a pair of 20-game winners. 0-1, 20-game winners before that. Here's Tim Stauffer.
See the bat flip you're talking about. Oh. That was a rock-solid bat flip.
Beautiful bunt. Blum. And they move him on over to second. I mean, that angle told a little bit of the story, but it was a good 12 feet away from home plate.
He was proud of it.
Single to right. Not a fan.
I like it when these guys get under your skin.
2-2 the score.
As you get older, you just get a little crustier. You would have fit in well with that 0-1
I have some
crew.
of the old school guys in here. I'm allowed to be like that. I feel comfortable.
Except after a bat flip like that, somebody got one in the ribs 10 years ago.
He's got to work himself out of this jam, though, in this 2-2 ball game. Let's see if we can get another angle of this. This is a single.
It's a big-time bat flip.
Little chopper out. Play is out there in front of him. Boy, can he play the position. John McDonald, quick transfer. Didn't even consider the runner out in front. He let bat flip move on to third. That was a fine play by McDonald.
I guess we're now going to call him by his new nickname, Bat Flip. But you're right. I think he realizes with 2 outs, it still takes a base hit to score. So I'm not going to make the difficult play at third. I'm just going to toss it across the diamond and get the sure thing. John McDonald's certainly been defensively stellar.
Starts him off with a changeup and a good-looking pitch. 0-1 the count. Into the dirt. Nice job, Miguel Montero. Didn't try and backhand that one. Didn't have a chance. He used his body. Looked like a goalie behind home plate there. 1-1.
Good fastball. That one surprised Bartlett, and it beat him.
So coming in with this is coming in with no one on base. Opponents hit .375 against Miley. With runners on base, it's 170 points lower. 205. Let's see if he can clean things up. 1-2 the count. Look out,
folks.
Hopefully everyone's all right up above that dugout. Now our CenturyLink high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. Stauffer at 93, Miley at 91. They play Bartlett to shoot it the other way. Parra swings around as well. Into the dirt again, Montero.
Montero's spoiling any would-be wild pitch.
Each time doing it with the runner at third. Gonzalez out there at third also drove in a run in this ball game with a sac fly back in the second inning. What good looking take. 3-2.
Well, crowd trying to get behind Wade Miley now. They need the youngster to go ahead and get this final out and strand bat flip over there on third base.
3-2 low, ball 4. That's a couple of 3-2 changeups he has thrown, isn't it?
Yeah, very good one. It was just below the knees. Somehow, some way, Bartlett was able to lay off of it. That's going to bring up Jesus Guzman. I mean, this guy can hit. That's a really good changeup in a really good location. It's just a little bit down, but Bartlett, boy, he acted like it and he knew it was coming.
So now Jesus Guzman, as you mentioned, he grounded out. He doubled back in the third inning.
And now the two former Blue Jays and Montero go have a conversation with Wade Miley. While the old crusty corner infielders, Blum and Overbay, they just stay put.
He was called up from Tucson on June the 16th. And since then, he has hit and hit and hit. 325. Timely hits as well. Runs it in under his hands to Jesus Guzman.
Well, I think what the two middle infielders probably told him is, hey, the guy on deck is hitting 100 points less than the guy in the batter's box. So go ahead and make your pitches, but you don't have to give in to him. If you walk him, so be it. We'll take our chances with the big guy on deck. Good fastball in. Nicely executed there. Nobody's going to do anything with that pitch.
36 runs batted in since the All-Star break. That puts him in the top 10 in the National League. So it's not just average, it's production.
Back in they go.
Just missed a little bit high and inside. 2-1 the count.
We've seen Wade Miley get out of some jams when he goes to that fastball into the right-handers. But he's got to make sure he gets it in, or he could get hurt. They're going back in there.
Breaking ball.
Breaking ball. And this looks to be a pitch around, Darren, don't you think?
I think so now, because the last thing you'd want to do is miss out over the plate on 3-1. And you're always hoping that a guy will swing you out of a pitch around by chasing. Packed house here at Chase Field looking on. 3-1, high and inside, it's ball 4.
So I think that's about what we expected, but here's another inning where 2 walks. Now the bases are full, and he's going to have to do some big-time pitching here to Kyle Blanks, who's got big-time power. Charlie Nagy's on his way to the mound to have a conversation with his left-hander.
Last year it was May, and he, as Blanks gets ready to hit, big fella, meeting on the mound about Blanks. And you think of sluggers and power hitters. You don't think of Tommy John surgery. That's when you think of pitchers. But last May, he had a strained right elbow, had to have Tommy John surgery, missed the rest of the season. It really hampered a slugger's development. Finally was recalled in late July. So that's how long he had to take his time away from the major leagues. Inside, nowhere to put him. 1-0 the count. Blanks is one of his last 17 with runners in scoring position. Moving around, 73 pitches. Beat him with a fastball. A long run for Upton. I mean, a long way to go, but he puts him away. Miley cleans it up. Upton covered a lot of acreage.
He just likes to walk that tightrope.
He does, and he stranded old bat flip. Last World Series champion with a pair of 20-game winners. Very famed 78 Yankees, Ed Figueroa and Ron Guidry. What's going on over there, Gracie?
That's just more Yankee trivia. Didn't we beat the Yankees?
Well, I think you did. I was told that you did in 2001.
Yankee fans rejoice. We got your back here.
Well,
the great Ed Figueroa.
Line drive, pretty pass on the baseball, but Miley just hit it too hard right at the shortstop. And there, by the way, are the two that are armed for a title.
372 strikeouts, both of them. Almost 250 innings for Randy, 256 by Kurt. Golly.
The Diamondbacks, and deservedly so, celebrate Ian Kennedy and Daniel Hudson recently going over 200 innings. When you go back to 1990 and take it up until this year, 1990, the most innings in a season. The most innings, Randy Johnson in 99, 271 innings. 271 Randy Johnson through the 99
so
season.
Many. Yeah, why not?
That one is popped foul. 0-2 the count. Two is the score here. 2-2 is the score at Miller Park, with Arizona trailing by 1/2 game the Milwaukee Brewers for the right to open with home field in the wild card round, the division series round. Swing and a miss over the top of a changeup. We'll keep an eye on the Milwaukee Brewers. Spoke with a dear friend of mine who covers the Milwaukee Brewers, Adam McCalvey, back there in Wisconsin, and he said Brewers fans have a bit of angst right now about the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Well, they should. And if they're not careful, they're going to have some angst about the St. Louis Cardinals again.
Oh, boy. I mean, that'd be really falling apart.
I believe they're, 7 up now, something like that, after being like 11.5 not long ago.
You're right, it's 7. St. Louis is beating Atlanta tonight. Bouncing ball, and that's a foul ball. Now, what does it all mean? I mean, if you're just kind of tuning in as a casual fan, as you see the Central, if you finish, because the wild card in all likelihood is going to be Atlanta, and you cannot play the wild card in the first round. Otherwise, Philly would play Atlanta.
Right.
If they're in their own division.
They can't.
They cannot. So that separates the two of them. Pitch is high. So Philadelphia will play, of the two teams that remain not named Atlanta that win the West and the Central, they will play the two teams, the one team with the best record of the two, or I should say the worst record because they have the best. So should you move past the Milwaukee Brewers, you will not play the Philadelphia Phillies, and you'll play at home to open.
That's exactly right.
Which is just as big for me.
And then you'd play
Atlanta.
You'd play Atlanta, and then if you get past Atlanta, you play the winner of the Brewers and the Phillies.
Popped up, coming back this way.
And there are no guarantees in postseason. There's no guarantees. On paper, sure. You can almost guarantee the Philadelphia Phillies are going to represent the National League in the World Series. But you still got to play the game, don't you?
Yes. I mean, you clearly do. 2-2. Had him out front on an off-speed pitch. It's popped up. 1-2-3 go the Arizona Diamondbacks.
And we went on to win the World Series.
Yeah.
So David DeLucci pinch runs for me. I get my first win, and then I find out that I got disqualified.
No, you can't do that.
Well, we didn't get disqualified in 01. We won the World Series.
No, you could pinch run, you know. I mean, you can't in a race.
Well, why not? It's baseball.
I mean, Michael Johnson's not tagging off in the 200 meter in the Olympics in Atlanta in '96. It's just not happening. I mean, Carl Lewis isn't not being able to go and saying, "Can you go the rest of the way for me?" Breaking ball is low and inside.
Well, that just seems silly.
That was just an awful idea you had. 1-1 the count.
Well, it actually wasn't me.
Well,
down there in the.
I know you don't wear the suit, but so many people think that you do. 2-1 the count in a 2-2 game. See? Got the corner with a changeup. 2-2 the count. Well, you had a clever sign you were going to hold up.
I did. It was a good sign.
But they made you change it.
Yeah, game ops nixed it.
So there was no sign.
So there was no sign. And the game ops people, they wanted a terrible saying on the sign. It was terrible.
No.
So I just decided to make an executive decision, and I just didn't have any sign.
Oh, my goodness, does he? No way. Not with the speed of Denorfia. A good effort there by Hill just to make sure that he doesn't throw it away. There's that Denorfia. Even if he doesn't square it up, he always finds a way to get to the Diamondbacks.
Just hit into a perfect spot, a good sinking fastball. Hill does all he can. He gets rid of it quickly, but like you said, Denorfia runs too well. Right back come these San Diego Padres. They've had base runners everywhere.
So Denorfia is a .370 career hitter against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
2 more tonight. Boy, that was very close. Had him leaning.
Miley at 80 pitches. Last time out through 91, 97 the outing before that. Pours in a beautiful fastball right under the hands of James Darnell. Make sure to join us tomorrow. Same 2 teams wrapping up this series. We'll have it for you. We will salute our everyday heroes as well, and those that lost their lives and saved so many on September the 11th. And also those that keep us safe every day. We will salute our everyday heroes tomorrow. 0-1 the count. Darnell played his college baseball at South Carolina, the Gamecocks. And that, over the last 15 years, has developed into a fabulous program.
What, back-to-back championships, right? Back-to-back College World Series champions.
Ray Tanner has built a juggernaut there. Has a brand new facility. Doing it in the SEC as well. Belted left, pretty well struck. Going back is Parra. He looks up. It's a homer. So Darnell leaves the yard.
For the first time in his career.
That's exactly right. And so just like that, he trots around the bases, high fives, 1-all for Darnell with his first major league home run.
Fastball in, he just cuts it off and rips it right out of here. And these Padres throw a wet blanket over this crowd with a home run, the first one of his career. Congratulations, young man. And Wade Miley finds himself pitching now with a 2-run deficit.
Micah begins to warm in the bullpen. Micah Owings. One and one the count on Luis Martinez. Too much fastball for him as he fouls that one up and into the seats. Darnell, in breaking into the big leagues, had a pair of RBIs in his first 12 games. He's got 3 tonight. Ground ball down the line, should be extra bases for Martinez. Parr will have it kicked. How far away? Too far. Big aggressive turn. And right in with that arm to third base. So, moments maybe get a little bit anxious now with Micah getting hot in the bullpen.
Well, let's see if Kirk Gibson's on his way out. Blum playing way off the line. And as it gets by him, these Padres now starting to assert themselves.
Bobby Freeman with a little bit of a dance mix while we wait.
That's going to be it, I think, for Wade Miley. I think Gibby's got the hook with him.
Firm step, deliberate walk for Gibson. Is he going to wait on Mike DeMuro?
I would imagine so.
And ask Mike what he should do?
Well, I think he's just going to. Micah's ready, son. Let's see what he's got. What do you think I should do, Mike? Mike said, I think he's got pretty good stuff still. It's good to have an 8.5 game lead, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Unfortunately for Miley, he's got to go. There is very little to no Tommy Lasorda in Kirk Gibson, but that's exactly where he learned that from. We'll step aside. 4-2 is the score.
Postseason ticket purchase lottery, online only at dbacks.com/postseason.
Good looking read. Here is Alberto Gonzalez. Micah Owings clocks in, goes to work with a cut fastball that nips the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Micah has been nothing but dependable. Had a tough outing last time out in Denver, Colorado, and has been chomping at the bit to get back. The last time he was full-time on this team, the Arizona Diamondbacks, they won the West. That was in 2007. Battled some injury in 2008, was eventually traded away, and was never really the same with regard to pitching until coming back to Arizona this year. It's been a wonderful story to cover. And usually, and I find it interesting because you were with some of the guys who might not be the Schilling, Grace, Sanders names before the game. More of the Micah Owings, if you will, of 2001. And you guys all appreciated one another today. You remembered the role of the guy who was the last guy in the bullpen.
Absolutely. Everybody had a hand in it, not just those guys.
Fastball, fly ball. Young will track. A tag and on his way to 30. And corks a pretty good one, CY, on a hop. So Martinez tags and he heads on over. But Micah have been willing when he has been called upon to start, when there has been an empty spot in the rotation or a struggling starting pitcher like an Armando Galarraga. Willing to go the bullpen. You need me to close? I'll close the game for you. It's 10-0. The Diamondbacks are getting crushed. I'll pitch a few innings for you. Guys like that are invaluable.
You have to have them. Every great team has to have guys like that.
Infield in, by the way.
Yeah, you can't afford to fall behind by 3. Stauffer's throwing the ball beautifully. And then also, Padres just have a terrific bullpen.
Heath Bell hardly ever gets to work in a safe situation lately. He's the back end of that bullpen. Micah's inherited 12 runners. This year, only 2 have scored. Squeezes on and he pushes it to the right side. Boy, a thing of beauty. Oh.
Padres is just playing good fundamental baseball. Buddy Black puts his neck on the chopping block there. Tim Stauffer makes him look like a genius with a beautiful bunt. Easily scoring there is Martinez. It's just good baseball. It's an exciting play, isn't it?
It really is. And it's 1-2 where for the defense, it's right there in front of you and you're helpless. So a rare inherited runner scores, but it takes a trick play to get him in. Stauffer, too, did a nice job. We've talked about what a good athlete he is. It's his 6th RBI this year.
Pods are up 3. Cats.
You score that, by the way, sacrifice 3-4 in that case, and there is a run batted in. There you go. Backed up out there on Gonzo vision.
That's exactly what they call it.
Pitch is a little bit high. 1-2 the count. With the deficit 3. Time for the gentleman to go to work in the next half inning and keep it right here.
They got a little work to do.
That one's pretty well struck. Deep into right center field. Young going back up under the balcony, and he's there to make the play. How do they do it out there? Not an easy task. Big inning for the San Diego Padres as they play 3.
That great 0-1 World Series championship team, Reggie Sanders. We used to work together on Fox Sports Arizona. Tell the people, what are you doing now?
Well, I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina now, and I have 4 girls. They're doing well. My oldest is in college, and I am part ownership with Kyle Ripken. We have 2 facilities. One is in Myrtle Beach, and one is in Aberdeen. And so we host tournaments, and kids come from all over the world and play.
And that's Greg Swindell, who also worked with us on Fox Sports Arizona. Greg, you and I took that great trip to Scotland. What are you doing these days?
I'm back in Austin, Texas. About to go to work for ESPN, do some Longhorn baseball games.
So you're still broadcasting. We were the launching pad for you.
I learned from the best, Brad. I learned from the best.
You know, when you see all these guys here in this weekend, yeah, there's a Swindell jersey right there. Yeah, that's on eBay, going on eBay for a lot of money. When you look back at that remarkable run and you see these guys again, what are some of the emotions that go through your mind?
Well, it still gives me chills. What we've been able to accomplish was also amazing. But what the beauty of is that we can come back together, and then it feels like we, haven't missed anything. So, it's always great to see these guys.
And your thoughts? I mean, that was a special team. A bunch of veterans that had kind of accomplished a lot at other places got together in spring training and said, "This is our chance. This is our time."
It is. I mean, we didn't really realize it till later in the season when it all started coming together. But like Reggie says, we can get together after not seeing each other for a while and just like it was yesterday. And that's what's so cool about how this team was.
Miguel Montero with an 18-game hitting streak. And final question, guys, for both of you. You watch a lot of this year's team, and what do you think of what they're doing?
I watch almost every night. I mean, especially when they're at home in Austin, the games are on late. So I'm in bed watching. I critique you every night.
Okay.
Because I want to learn from the best, the broadcasting business. But I love what they're doing. I mean, they're an exciting team. Kirk Gibson brings it to the plate. Brings it to the ballpark every day.
And Reggie, your thoughts of this club?
I'm the exact same way. I'm at home like this the whole time, trying to pull it out. But what I like the most is I like the leadership that they brought into this clubhouse, and with Gibby, and also their coaching staff is doing a tremendous job, and also the players on the field is doing what they need to do. But it's just great and fun to watch.
Guys, great to see you again. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you, brother.
Guys, we'll send it back to you.
We're listening, folks. We're listening to this interview, but listening to this crowd.
I was going to say, Brad was doing just fine. The Diamondbacks, a bunt base hit by Justin Upton, followed by a rocket off the wall by Miguel Montero. And the crowd is, very loud. Now Jeff Blum trying to get the Diamondbacks a little bit closer here. And at the end of Jeff Blum's at-bat, at least you need Justin Upton to cross the plate.
Bouncing ball, and the veteran makes sure that occurs. 5-3.
And get him in. Very well done by the veteran.
And you move a runner to third as well.
That's exactly right.
So Blum on a 4-3 ground out picks up an RBI. It's his 5th back in the major leagues this year. And now Chris Young. He struck out back in the 4th inning. Gracie was talking about him in the 2nd inning when he doubled in a run, because last night Chris Young also pitched in a 2-for-4 effort.
This was the double. That got Jeff Blum home from first base. Now he's representing the tying run. And just any ground ball towards the middle of the diamond will make it a 5-4 game. Nice job of laying off a good slider.
Stauffer has been really tough this year with runners in scoring position. Young kind of flexed his muscles a little bit here. He gave Maben the business as he went underneath that balcony to make the catch. Get in the weight room, maybe you hit it over my head.
Do a few more curls, that might get in the seats.
They're close buddies, by the way. The 2-0. 2-1.
Lyle Overbay is on deck. He's singled and doubled tonight, so Chris Young can find his way on. Diamondbacks will look to have a big inning.
Into the dirt, a huge job and a nice block by Martinez. There's a run that'll pull him one step closer. Didn't mean to, and unfortunately it's a strike. 3-2 the count. Quick reminder, anytime the Diamondbacks score 6 or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with a large drink purchase, 4-6 the following day.
Huge pitch in this ball game right here. Chris Young got to find a way to plate Miguel Montero. Boy, a hanging change up. And I guess he hung it enough because Chris Young had a good rip at it, but fouled it straight back. I mean, that is just on a tee.
Oh, that's great. Glad to have you here from north of the border. 3-2. Popped it foul again.
That time it was a slider. Same result. Fouled it straight back.
Didn't get the call, just below the knees.
Oh, my goodness. Stauffer wanted it. Luis Martinez, the catcher, wanted it. Mike DeMuro wasn't given. It was close, and Buddy Black's going to come get his right hand.
Oh, boy.
He's going to go lefty on lefty with Lyle Overbay over there.
Wow. Arizona.com. So Anthony Bass, actually a right-hander and a pretty young right-hander, 23 years old. He has just made a Stauffer gives way to a guy who's made 21 total Major League experiences. Obviously, Bud Black was a former Major League pitcher and a really good pitching coach, so he knows his guys. But from up here in the nest, if you will, well above the field, this is puzzling to me.
Well, I think he saw that Stauffer's pitch count was at 98 pitches. So maybe just looking at a big picture kind of thing, I'm not going to wear out this kid. I'm going to take him out of the game where he possibly can't lose and he can only win or get a no decision. Or maybe he just thought, you know what? Maybe Tim Stauffer's effectiveness was starting to wane. And also, I think he saw that Overbay was very comfortable off of him tonight, being 2 for 2, so he's giving him a different look.
Let's watch it play out as the right-hander comes home with the fastball down and away again. Anthony, a 5th-round pick in 08.
Stauffer Overbay, 2nd inning. RBI double. Now he's going to have to do his thing. Off a Bass, hard throwing right-hander. Trying to stay out of the double play.
Into the dirt, it kicks away. Coming to the plate. The throw out at the plate. Another out on the base path for the Diamondbacks.
Oh, Miguel Montero. You got to be sure, son. You got to remember your speed. Oh, what a huge play in this ball game that ends up being. Yeah, he hesitated, and that's all it took.
Lyle pops it up left.
Pretty big play in this ball game now. Instead of a sacrifice fly right there in a 5-4 ball game, we'll go to the top of the 7th, 5-3 San Diego.
Jay Bell, one of the original Diamondbacks, and he had the privilege of scoring the game-winning run in that World Series. What a weekend. I see you talking to all your former teammates. What a special group of guys.
It really is. It's been a great time, Brad. We've had a good group or a good time this weekend. We've got the opportunity to really spend a lot of time together, and of course, a lot of us have kept in touch with one another. But to be able to talk to the Troy Brohans and the Robert Ellises, and just to spend time with those guys has been really a joy.
I remember talking to Bob Brennan. I asked him when he felt this team was special and could do something like they did. And he said it was spring training, because a bunch of veteran guys who had accomplished a lot of individual honors through their careers, but their collective goal was to win it all because they knew their time maybe was running short. Was that the sense?
I think that one of the things that we did pretty well was that we understood where we were at in our careers. And you look at the Greg Swindells and myself and Mark Grace and Steve Finley and Luis and Matt Williams and Todd Stottlemyre and these guys, and we're kind of nearing the end. Now we had a few years left, but it was certainly at the twilight of our career. And I think that of all the people that believed in us, I think we did. And so it was a lot of fun. We had a great spring training, had a great year. It was just it was magical.
When you're a part of a great team, a special team, the components that made it great never seem to change. You can go 10 years without seeing guys, and everything kind of comes flooding back, what that team was all about in that locker room.
Right. Well, and that was one of the things. And I think that these Diamondbacks today are doing a lot what we did back then. One of the things that I think in order to have success, you have to pull for one another. You have to believe in one another. And I knew that if I went up to the plate and I failed, I knew that whoever was behind me was going to succeed for me and to pick me up. And it was important that we maintained that thought process throughout the course of the year. We didn't have too many bad slumps, and we ended up doing pretty special things.
When you look back at that entire season, the NLDS, which was an amazing, dramatic series, and the championship series against the Braves, and then going to the World Series, what stands out for you? What was like the crystallizing moment?
Well, there were quite a few things. One, I mean, in the NLDS, we had the opportunity to Tony came through with a huge base hit, and after a failed squeeze attempt, and we go into Atlanta and play a team. I remember being told by Leo. He told me, he said, "Listen, this reminds me of the '92 team that you were on with Pittsburgh." I said, "It's not anything like that. So we're going to beat you." So it was a little bit different. But going into New York and to play in that series, to play in New York, having the Eagle fly in, having President Bush throw out the first pitch, there are just so many dramatic things that happened that series, and it was a memorable time for not only us as players, but our coaching staff, our organization, the city of Phoenix, and the state of Arizona.
Who could still play in this room full of guys? Who could still put on a uni and head out there and play? I know you could. You look great.
Well, I don't know. I could probably field a ground ball if it wasn't hit too far left or right. But Reggie looks great. Reggie's in great shape. Junior Spivey's still in great shape. Gonzo probably could still flip a flare out there over shortstop every once in a while. But I think we're all happy where we're at. I don't think any of us want to go back and play anymore.
Well, the energy and just the vibe in this room is really something special.
Well, what was special was going out there today and getting introduced and seeing a packed house and seeing a group of fans that really appreciated what we accomplished.
Hopefully that's a prelude of good things to come in the postseason. Jay Bell, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for stopping by. Guys, we'll send it back to you. One of the original Diamondbacks, and he's got a very cool ring as well.
Thank you, Brad. Well done by you. Nice purple shirt as well out there, Brad.
That was big league, wasn't it?
By the way, Gonzo. They all said Gonzo could come back and play.
I saw that. I think they're probably right. I know it ain't me.
Well, if he came back, would he be allowed to wear number 20? I mean, it's retired.
It's retired. There he is.
He's calling his agent right now.
Booking those first-class tickets. Probably over to the Mediterranean somewhere. Probably talking to the Pope.
Really?
Good chance.
That's a rare tweet when we have him on. Swing and a miss.
Well, Micah did what he had to do. A quick inning.
Well, certainly, as we have welcomed you to this celebration tonight, we will allow you that didn't make it down to stay here. You watched the pregame where Jesse McGuire, who, of course, legendary, was part of National Anthem back in the 2001 World Series, had the National Anthem again today, and Jesse is being introduced. They are welcoming him back. And folks are standing for God Bless America.
Dr. Jesse McGuire.
Only at Southwest.com. CenturyLink. Quest is now CenturyLink. Visit CenturyLink.com to learn more. Back at the ballpark, time to go to work. Arizona with a very, very disappointing bottom half of the sixth inning. The one was nice, but they will tell you it should have been 2 minimum, hoping for 3, and they came up with just the 1 run. Now the good news is the way Micah Owings handled his business coming right back out. I know Brad with a great interview, but an incredible play by Aaron Hill to start the inning off.
And then a strikeout, get the boys right back up in the batter's box. And John McDonald looks at a couple of wide ones. It's 2-0. Little bounce back outing for Micah as well.
Boy, is he a competitor. Bottom half of the seventh, 3-0 is the count. Arizona has the news that Philadelphia has managed to run at Miller Park. They lead the Brewers in the 10th. 3-2 is the score. They also have the news that in the top of the 5th inning, the Dodgers are on top of the San Francisco Giants 3-0.
That's a lot of good news. Ball 4. And that's John McDonald just doing his thing.
Sean Burroughs now called upon to pinch hit, and we have seen some good work out of Burroughs of late. He has 6 of his last 17 pinch hitting. 6 of his last 17. 353 clip for Sean. So, again, we're talking about net batting average up to 270. They're playing him perfectly defensively because a lot of his damage is over there like a right-handed pull hitter. You can see him swung around well off that patch in left field. And away we go.
Good breaking ball to start him off with. 0-1.
There were a couple of different decision times. The players don't certainly matter who did not stay, but there were a couple of occasions where Sean Burroughs could have been the odd man out this year. And privately, on more than one occasion, Kirk Gibson fought to keep him here. Him here.
And we let Willie Mo Pena go because Kirk Gibson, as much as he liked Willie Mo Pena, he liked a little more from Sean Burroughs. Sean's going to have to give his little brother his shirt back.
Oh, boy. 0-1 the count. 0-2 the count on a running fastball right down the middle. Shaking your head at that, but boy, I don't know what you can do with that pitch. It's tough. You've really got to anticipate it. He was ready for that breaking ball, and a tough one down and in. This has been his role, though Gibson has started him on occasion. What would you say? Is it once a week if you were to average it out? He seems to start about once a week.
I'd say even less than that.
A couple times a month?
Now that Jeff Blum is back.
You're right. Now that's a good point.
But prior to that, yes.
A couple times a month. Just to stay fresh. He is a pinch hitter. That's his role. And
just able to stay alive.
Not one outside of the home run in Washington that he hit that stunned all of us. He's a pinch hitter that's expected to extend rallies with singles.
That's exactly right.
Which is just fine.
Yeah.
You saw Blum behind his manager, Kirk Gibson, in the dugout. Gibson saying in Denver, Colorado, that should the Diamondbacks be fortunate enough to make the postseason, Jeff Blum would have a spot. Which means you got a couple of choices. You might go a pitcher less.
Some tough choices.
You might make a decision on Burroughs. It'll be interesting. Bouncing ball, charging it, looking to get to the tag. That's a great play. I mean, a fabulous play, because right away he knew, I've got to come get this, when Gonzalez turned it into 2.
Boy, a big double play ball there for Bass. As you can see, the tag and then the flip, easily done. That'll end the rally right there. Nice play.
Parra takes a fastball away. This young man's got a big arm. Bass misses outside with a heavy fastball. Squares around a bunt, pops it foul.
Oh, 2 outside. Me, you, and especially Kirk Gibson, probably Don Baylor. Would like to see Gerardo Parra try and drive it in the gap. Go ahead and get in scoring position with 2 outs.
One and 2 the count. Oh for 3 today. Into the dirt. Better run, young man. No. Chose not to.
Yeah, I did. Wasn't up to it. At 11 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, and video highlights. Next time you're at Chase Field, use AtBat11 to check in. When you do, you could unlock special offers including T-shirts, premium seat upgrades, and exclusive ticket discounts. Download AtBat11 now or visit dbacks.com.
Well, you peeled back a real bargain there. I mean, you really have to go ahead and download that.
It's a good app.
It's a good app. A slippery decision not to download it. Denorfia takes a pitch that misses just off the plate. Brian Shaw is now front and center on the bump in the middle of that Diamondbacks field of defenders as he rocks and fires. Hard hit. There's Denorfia again.
Doesn't matter who's throwing.
Another 3-hit night. All-American out of a small college, Wheaton College in Massachusetts.
Bang.
It's a fair comparison, and he's a fun player to watch. Now, Wheaton is in Norton, Mass. He was a Division III All-American, which means if you play college baseball at Division III, there are no scholarships for Division III players.
You're walking on.
So he played it for the love of the game, and now he gets paid for the love of the game, and love stories like that. And because he came from a spot like that, you're never going to get half of him. Especially the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, they get more than their 100%, more than their fair share of Chris Denorfia.
This young man in the batter's box, he came from a much bigger program, a perennial star program at South Carolina. First big league homer. That came back in the 6th inning. Josh Colmenter against Wade LeBlanc. That's tomorrow. First pitch at 1:10. We'll have the action for you. Colmenter looking to win for the 10th time this year. Even though there's an ERA of 5, LeBlanc can be crafty enough, so the Diamondbacks
got a crafty one of their own.
Got a crafty one of their own who has had a really solid and successful season. Paul Goldschmidt finding a seat amongst the starting pitchers there. And it looks like they're kind of giving it to him.
Well, they should.
Bouncing ball there. You're looking at 2. There's 1 on to first. A double play.
That's just about how you draw it up. 2 big hops out to John McDonald. He's going to do the rest. Hill, Overbay, 2 quick outs. Those boys can play the game up the middle, can't they?
Yeah, fun to watch them work as there's a strike. And by the way, happy 24th birthday to Paul
Goldschmidt.
24 today.
Well, we can't sing it to him, but we can tell him happy birthday.
Please don't sing it.
No, can't do that.
I want to hear from the lawyers in Los Angeles.
Well, we're thinking about you, Paul. And for a birthday present, Gibby's going to let you watch Lyle Overbay play first base. It's Randy's birthday as well. 2 guys turning 24 today.
No. Good to see Randy.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks like he could go out there and throw another shutout and strike out 15.
Protecting, look out in that dugout. He has kept himself in really good shape. Crowd coming alive. Randy celebrating his 48th birthday today. Goldschmidt, half his age today. The 1-2. Nice job, though he backhanded it by Miguel Montero. It's risky business, isn't it, on a breaking ball? Only because if you get a swing and a miss there and it gets by you. Now congratulations, as that one is fouled off. It seems like that young gal got engaged tonight. So congratulations to her.
Well, no, I don't think that may have been what happened, but I think she got a replica ring. One of the first 25,000 people here.
I just hope I get an invitation to the wedding.
Probably not going to be a wedding.
2-2 the count. Again, look out over that dugout. He pokes it foul.
That's what she's talking about.
Oh, I see.
The replica ring.
Well, even better. If someone cares about you enough to give you that ring and then ask for your hand in marriage, that is a lifetime commitment.
It would be one heck of a commitment, yes. That's not the one. It's the replica ring.
Gobbled up.
25,000 people got him tonight.
On across. Well, let's hope that 25,000 plus the remainder that are here see a rally and a Diamondbacks win. Congratulations, young lady. Have lost again to the Philadelphia Phillies, reminding them why they don't want to play them in the first round, and reminding Arizona that if you can in fact seize the moment, seize the next 16 games and pass and stay beyond Milwaukee, you will open at home and you will have a chance to make a run at a World Series title like those guys did in 2001. Kirk Gibson isn't big on talking about other games by other teams. He knows tonight he can only worry about himself. Also, in the sixth inning, Los Angeles is on top of San Francisco 3-0. That would
all kinds of favors being dished out by opponents.
That would move that magic number into Mark Grace will speak about it territory.
Get it into single digits?
Yes, it will.
Wow. Well, go ahead and come from the clouds and take this one, snatch this one from the Padres, and make things even better.
Make it 8 if you do that. Chad Qualls, former Diamondback. First pitch sinker and a strike. 0-1 the count. Aaron Hill is 0 for 3. He is hanging around a 12-game hitting streak that he would love to extend. Middle of the diamond. Into center field. Hill leads it off with a base hit. Qualls almost got it. Bartlett almost got it, and neither one of them came up with it. And that's how you have to hit Chad Qualls. Don't try to pull him.
Well, Chad Qualls is a guy that falls, almost has his fanny facing the plate after he delivers the pitch. Watch, he just can't get in good fielding position. because he falls over to first base, and that allows the ball to get through. And just like that, Justin Upton representing the tying run here in the 8th inning.
And he's been on quite a homer run. He is 1 for 3 tonight.
Oh, Aaron Hill's been awfully good, hasn't he?
13-game hitting streak, and in that time, 22 hits. Now, the temptation with Qualls is to think home run here. He wants you to do that.
Yes. And you have to lay off that right there. That's the double play ball. That's how Chad Qualls has made his living. Hitters swinging at that pitch right there.
Justin's not alone in timely hitting late. This baseball team seems to awaken in about the 6th inning. Hot shot pass to third baseman Darnell. Hill's going to stop right there and be safe with things. Runners on first and second. He undressed the young third baseman, did Upton.
Yeah, James Darnell, when he was in South Carolina, that's a great program, but nobody hit the ball that hard when he was playing third base there. My goodness, this one leaves a vapor trail. Bang! Darnell does the best he can, but it's off his glove and into left field. Miguel Montero now represents the go-ahead run just like that. Miguel Montero was thrown out at the plate trying to score on a would-be wild pitch. You know he's thinking about that still. He'd love to atone for that. And he takes a big rip at a slider from Chad Qualls. You just know Miguel's going to be swinging hard.
I hope those old school jerseys have industrial buttons on them. Otherwise, he would have popped that thing open. You don't mind if a guy takes this, I used to call it with some hitters I covered, shore leave for a swing or two, but then you got to get back on the boat and focus.
And when he takes a good, crisp swing, that's when the good things happen. When he airs it out, usually that's not when he does well. There's another big rip at a slider. That one hung right in the middle of the plate, and he came up empty. 0-2. I mean, this thing is center cut.
The realistic man warming up is Cook. The optimistic man is Putz. Nice take.
Pretty good way of putting it, Darren.
Bell, Brock.
Bud Black won't hesitate to bring his closer in the 8th inning either, Darren. He did it a couple of nights ago in San Francisco, and Heath Bell nailed it. Oh, man, I love that.
Great.
I love that. Scream till you're blue in the face. Or purple tonight.
Bouncing ball. You hope this wouldn't happen, but it just did.
That's how he makes his living. Boy, that is a big lead balloon right there.
Buddy Black's got something up his sleeve. It looks like a double switch is involved as well.
He's probably going to go to Heath Bell. So he gets the much-needed double play ball off the bat of Miguel Montero.
No, he's going to his closer, Heath Bell. He doesn't get to work much. He relishes these opportunities. Last time he came to a ball game in this ballpark, he slid into the pitcher's mound in the All-Star game. Here comes Heath Bell. We'll step aside. and made it clear that he'd be willing to stay long term, and he now gets a chance to back that up. Heath Bell not traded. Mike Adams traded to Texas, his setup man. And Bell, look, he's got 36 saves. He just hasn't had the opportunity. He only has 10 saves in the second half, and it's just based upon a club not winning. But Heath Bell, one of the best at his position in all of baseball. Orlando Hudson takes over at second base. Trying to handshake and greet everyone.
You wouldn't expect anything less from Orlando Hudson.
Alberto Gonzalez moves over. Literally like an after-church handshake is what he tried right there with the umpire.
Yeah. Thanks to our clergy.
That was very good. All right, Jeff Blum, if you could manage to get one, I mean, just somehow flip one somewhere. Bell's so tough, though.
That he is.
His last save came 3 days ago. It was against the San Francisco Giants. It was like this one. It was a 4-out save, and that's another reason Buddy has no problem using him like this. He doesn't get used much. Right over the outside.
Just perfect on the outside corner.
Bell and Blum, a couple of former teammates in San Diego.
Just beat him with a fastball there.
Heath Bell was not drafted. He began his career just asking for a job with the professional team. The New York Mets obliged. She's not giving up hope. And young lady, you've got 4 outs to play with, so hang in there. Bouncing ball to Orlando Hudson. Flips it in time for the out. Hudson due up second. Heath Bell made that look easy. Hang in there. You got 3 outs to play with. Rain on the parade. Magic number is 10 for the Arizona Diamondbacks in winning the National League West. So far, so good. The Dodgers trying to help out. Arizona cannot help themselves completely tonight. This is what is remaining. Wednesday, that series wraps up with the Dodgers, a 3-gamer. And then next weekend at the Padres, the home series to wrap it up will be a 3-gamer against the Pittsburgh Pirates, a 3-gamer against the Giants, and then a 3-gamer against the Dodgers. And then if it goes as folks hope, as they hope, there will be more games in October. We need to see you here, though. Very, very good crowd tonight. Last night, just an okay. 2 days ago, too small, inexcusable. Got to do better than that for the way this club is played.
A lot to be proud of tonight, and I absolutely echo everything you said. It's an awfully special ball club here.
It's not a shot at any one person, so no one should take it personally. It's just caring about. I mean, they had to hook us too, folks. They had to. Kirk Gibson said, "We'll earn your respect in the booth. We'll earn it as well from home." So here's hoping that on that final homestand, you might get a chance to come on down and catch a team that's, well, dumping buckets of water and champagne all over themselves and coming out and saluting you, the fans. That's what makes it great. That's coming back our way. We got it? No, it's down below. It's a good try by you, Gracie.
I tried. So did you. Would have been nice.
A little bit shy. Here's Alberto Gonzalez. Now, there's something in that right arm we saw on this road trip. The way Cook truly aired it out. He struggled on a few occasions. But this young man can really unleash some heat. And good sink on it. That one at 90 miles an hour this year in Reno. Cook worked in 14 games, 17 innings, had 6 saves in AA Mobile. In 34 games, had 13 saves. Fastball in. High pop up into left field. That is an easy chance.
No bat flip on that one.
Oh, and thank goodness for that.
Somebody get hurt over there by the on-deck circle. Wants the fly ball. Nope, no bat flip. Starting to see a pattern?
Here's Orlando Hudson. Well, Bell's a tough man to work 2 runs off of.
Doesn't happen very often. He's 36 out of 40 this year.
Orlando. 1-1 the count. Orlando's at 241. He's got 6 home runs this year and 39 batted in. Back to the screen it goes. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. That one dives right below his bat. Change of pace at 90.
Pretty pitch there from Cook. A couple of fastballs to get some swing fouls and then drop a little split finger, whatever that is. He's got Orlando Hudson talking to himself.
And now Cameron Maben. Strike one.
96 miles an hour, beautifully executed.
Yeah, how about that arm? If he continues to refine himself.
We'll hear his name a lot in the near future, and there's a breaking ball right behind it.
And honestly, that one there, just a good enough breaking ball. But when you're sinking it at 95, that's all you have to do.
Right there it is, right to the outside corner.
All right.
Wow, that was it. Hey! Wow!
Maben.
Furious is Cameron Maben. His team's up 2.
We hear from one every night in Gracie, but all of them have gathered back, and a rousing ovation from my color analyst, number 20, Luis Gonzalez, APS Energy All-Stars. First pitch is thrown out. Chill a little bit high there.
That wasn't very good out of Kurt Schilling.
But a night to celebrate.
That was terrible.
That was awful.
All right, you got a rally in you? Kind of like one from 10 years ago?
Sounds good to me.
7?
It'd be big league, I'll tell you that. Bell is a challenge in this situation. He has allowed 2 or more runs in 7 of his last 123 appearances. So it doesn't happen very much. That's in the last couple of years. We told you Denorfia can play anywhere. Jeremy Hermida moves into right field. Blank's a little bit more of a challenge out there defensively. First pitch, fastball. 0-1 the count, Chris Young. Young doubled. He played it a run back in the second inning, and he came around to score. He's also walked along with the strikeout. But those of you that came tonight, even if you've snuck out and you're watching back at home, or if you couldn't make it, you really represented tonight.
Absolutely.
A great crowd tonight. For the former team and for the current team. Belted, left field. Young, deep, back to the track to Denorfia. It's within 1.
Don't look now, Darren Sutton. That's another multi-hit game. 2 extra base hits tonight, a double and now a home run, along with a walk. The center fielder might be starting to feel it. Curveball. Bang, way out of here. That's off a closer, by the way, folks.
It's a Fulton Homes homer, $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Lyle cheats a bit, pulls it on the ground, bad hop.
Oh, a big break for the Diamondbacks.
Foul ball is the call.
A big break for the Diamondbacks. That ball took a right turn just before the bag, and instead of being an easy out, it's a foul ball. Watch this ball scoot foul on the last hop. It's a good call down there by Tim Sheeta. The crew chief was right there looking right at it. So Lyle Overbay gets new life.
Doubled, played it a run, singled, and flied to left field. Frozen. 0-2 the count.
Two guys now in the 2020 club. Young, along with Justin Upton. Surviving right there. Just staying alive is Lyle Overbay. Both of those guys now with at least 20 home runs and at least 20 stolen bases.
And I don't think you would color either of us surprised by that.
You can almost expect it from him.
Great moment here for a fan.
All right. Nice grab, young lady.
How about that? Yeah. It's just been one of those nights tonight. People are really enjoying their trip in. The 0-2. Belted, left field. Lyle going deep. Denorfia going back to the wall. He leads. We're tied! Wow!
Look at that dugout.
McDonald steps
Yeah,
out. They want
trying
Lyle.
to give him a curtain call. Give him a curtain call. Come on, Lyle. Get out there. Get out there, Lyle. Get out there, Lyle. They still want it. They still want it. Nope, that one's on Lyle.
He's too humble. Off the glove of DeNorfia and over the wall for a homer.
He did get a glove on it, did he?
It certainly looked like it. We'll see it again.
Well, you can't script this one any better, can you?
McDonald hits it deep to center field, but to the big part of the ballpark. And the play is made. Yeah, rally caps on over those ears. Whatever works, boys. Looks like a bunch of college kids. Let's see if it got his glove here. First of all, beautiful swing.
Yeah, he drives it a long way. DeNorfia gives it everything he's got. He leaps, and it was off of his glove. You think they're not ready for this?
How about one more? Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Breaking ball is outside. Well, we told you how difficult it was to accomplish against Bell. That is only the 8th time in his last 124 appearances he's given up 2 runs. Outside to Paul.
Not even close. He is not even messing with Goldschmidt right now, Heath Bell. 2 breaking balls way out of the zone. Now a fastball way out of the zone. I think he's got the green light.
3-1 the count.
Perfect pitch. Strike 2. Perfect pitch.
Seven home runs in his young career. The rally caps are ready to roll. Hit hard, but out to Orlando Hudson. And in time for the second out. Now, Gerardo Parra. Incredible. No matter the result, and if Arizona will, in the end, win this in a few innings, if it doesn't happen now, what just happened there? Against Heath Bell. You fans get a lot of credit. How about I put it that way? Beautiful approach by Overbay. Dare I say, like a kid again.
Kind of fitting that he was actually on that club. Albeit, I mean, it wasn't even a cup of coffee. It was an espresso. But here he is.
Yeah, he spent most of 01 in Double-A hitting .352.
Yeah, is that all?
And then watched the World Series while playing winter ball on the scoreboard while he was playing winter ball. Gerardo Parra, 0-1 the count. Breaking ball, ground ball. All right, we're going to play on an incredible 9th inning, though. A stunner for Heath Bell. This crowd able to enjoy not only a home run by Young, we're used to that, but it's been a while since we've seen that man homer in purple. Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side.
I miss that other Jack Link's guy.
He got let go. Too much fun.
I miss him.
Wouldn't want to have fun at the old ballpark, would you? David Hernandez goes to work. He's been fun to watch all season long. Jason Bartlett. Right down the middle, strike one.
Well, my book's closed, Darren Sutton. You know I don't keep score for extra innings.
Well,
I just sit back and enjoy it now.
That's going to serve you appropriately. 0-1 the count.
Oh, my. David Hernandez, what a breaking ball.
Hammer as the bottom falls out of it.
There's some success there for Jason Bartlett against David Hernandez, but he's 0-2, lickety split.
Solid take, nice job, Miguel. He had to keep it with him. Opponents hit 190 against him this year. That's amongst the elite in National League relief pitching. Was an Oriole last year, acquired in a deal that sent Mark Reynolds to the Baltimore Orioles. That's strike three.
I think Hernandez a little pumped up from this crowd and from what he saw in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Back-to-back home runs to tie it up. Put a little extra foot or two on that fastball. Right by Bartlett.
Boy, she was the one who believed that it could happen in the ninth.
Here's that dastardly rascal, Jesus Guzman.
Breaking ball froze him, and it stayed high to Guzman. He's doubled, he's walked, he has grounded out and struck out. And on 1-0. Breaking ball is high.
Missed again with it.
All right, gentlemen, don't give him too much credit. Arizona's been on a roll at home. They're just getting used to that kind of support and people believing in them.
He's going to have to throw the 2-0 fastball and see if he can beat him or if Guzman's ready. He missed with it, 3-0.
The Diamondbacks with 14 consecutive wins here in their own ballpark. The Astros the longest since 2000. And it took an old Diamondback who has come back home to give him a chance to extend it. Chase is on 3-0. Wow.
3-0 swinging with one out, nobody on. And it wasn't even a strike.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you're David Hernandez, you're wishing he would have put that in play. Wasn't going to do much with that pitch.
Big stalky right-hander. Rocks and fires. Fastball. He doesn't wave that time. Jeremy Hermida came on, shifting around the defense. Claimed off of waivers from the Cincinnati Reds at the end of the month of August. Struggled as a Red. Didn't in AAA Louisville. They had hope, but then when he had his chance in the big team, big club in Cincinnati, he did scuffle. Had a big year in AAA, though. Fastball right down the middle, 0-1. Hit .319 with 17 home runs in Louisville this year. Fastball nearly got it there.
Just missed. Or did it? Well, according to Mike DeMuro, it missed, and his word is law.
Mike's had a good night tonight. The umpires, they love it when you say it. They have not been a part of the story. They've just called a solid game all around. Hasn't really heard much barking from either side. The 1-1.
Big swing. He fouled it back 1-2. Power on power there. Armida, even though he struggled, he does have big power. If he runs into it, there's not a ballpark that can hold it. But now David Hernandez has got him set up for possibly that breaking ball, Darren.
Last couple he's thrown have been up. Let's just make sure he stays over the top of that rubber for an extra beat. The 1-2. Fastball in and out of the catcher's mitt. Now talk about the umpires. You tell me I'm wrong, and I know you have a great relationship with the men in black. Don't you think they love calling games in this atmosphere?
Of course they do. Of course they do. They're baseball people. They want what's good for the game, and these kind of crowds, this kind of atmosphere is good for the game of baseball. It's good for the Diamondbacks. It's good for the Padres. Umpires love this.
Bounced into the dirt.
They love this a lot more than those 2,000 or 3,000 that come to the Florida Marlin games. Trust me.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. By the way, while they're loving the crowd, Jeremy Hermita's trying to sell Mike DeMuro on the fact that that ball hit him. Trying to see how hard. He didn't sell it very hard.
Watch the back toe.
Oh, he's awful close. Hard to tell.
Yeah, it may have.
He tried it. 2-2.
Now 3-2. All of a sudden, David Hernandez, he walked Guzman. Now he's 3-2 on Hermida. Let's see if Bud Black wants to send Guzman at first base, trying to stay out of the double play. But also, you open up the possibility of a strike him out, throw him out.
Swing and a miss, and the runner stays put, and that's why. That had a little sink to it as well.
95 miles an hour. He pretty much goes right to the middle of the plate with it. It was just right by Hermida.
Arizona tied it in the bottom half of the ninth inning against Heath Bell as Chris Young and Lyle Overbay both hit solo home runs.
Now Chris DeNorfia. He has been Diamondback pitchers' kryptonite this year. Looks like all of a sudden Hernandez has lost a bit of a feel for the breaking ball. He may just have to go with the gas. He better locate it.
Power pitchers will battle through exactly what he is battling through, and it's normal. If you can't throw a good one, you muscle up and try and throw a better one. If you can't do that, you try a little harder instead of backing way off.
Of course.
And it stays up. Fastball belted into center field on a base hit. Boy, was he ready for 97 at the letters.
Like I said, sometimes it doesn't matter who you are. If you're wearing a certain uniform, certain players are going to wear you out. And there ain't a guy on the Diamondbacks pitching roster that Chris DeNorfia does not wear out. I mean, a blistering line drive. 97 miles an hour up around the letters, no problem for DeNorfia. And now all of a sudden, San Diego Padres looking to take the lead. Will Venable with an opportunity with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Guzman now going to leave for a pinch runner.
Former Diamondback farmhand. That's Aaron Cunningham. He will take the assignment. Here's Will Venable.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Strike one.
Boy, it is so tough to just come off the bench cold and face a guy throwing as hard as David Hernandez is. DeNorfia, he had 4 at-bats. He was loose. It's just so difficult when you've been sitting around for 3 hours.
Fastball, he didn't. Will is hitting 5 of his last 6 ball games. Two outs, 2 on. Fastball had him cheating, dipped that back shoulder underneath. To the bottom half of inning number 10 we go. That number.
What number?
Yeah,
what number?
There's something magical about this. You know, on the same night that we celebrate your team from 2001 and late inning magic that made it possible, it's kind of fun to see it happen again in a regular season game, albeit, but on the same night it's celebrated.
It is. It's only fitting that a game like this, win or lose, entertains this sellout crowd of 48,000 and some change. I mean, don't you think?
I clearly think.
We always back the D-backs.
Used to draw that sign in purple, now they draw it in red. Either way, the loyalty is appreciated. Brad Brock, just his 5th time he goes to work in the major leagues. Some hitters, by the way. Some gentlemen that can swing the bat. Aaron Hill, Justin Upton, Miguel Montero against Brock. Here we go. A bit of a country angle to the walk-up music for Hill as Anthony Rizzo is now at first base.
Well, he's from the farm country of Visalia, California.
Yeah, they like their country music in Visalia. I'm glad you mentioned it. Breaking ball is over the outside corner. Used to go watch A-ball games in Visalia.
I've heard that.
Diamondbacks have a club there now. Outside.
Well, this Brock gives you all kinds of arms and legs and elbows and glove. There's a lot going on with this delivery.
One and two, the count on Hill. Into the dirt it goes. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Hill.
Looks like Aaron's chin's starting to heal up a little bit there.
The 2-2. Line drive, center, hangs up. Boy, it was knuckling on him.
Tough luck there for Aaron Hill. He hit a bolt. But unfortunately, Cameron Maben's taken a lot of hits away from many a hitter. Now a big ovation for Upton.
One and 0 the count. He's been a Diamondback from the moment he was picked first overall. And folks brought him up here to the majors in 2007. Swing and a miss. He was trying to thrill him there, 1-1.
Oh, and that can be a problem in extra inning games. A lot of times guys are up there just trying to be the heroic one. They're wanting to hit the walk-off home run. There's nothing wrong with hitting a single, maybe getting to second base and scoring on a base hit. You can see Upton thinking just that. He's chased 2 pitches out of the zone, so instead of 3-0, he sits 1-2 because he's trying to hit the home run rather than just get himself on base.
A big exhale from Upton. 5-5. Hits even at 10. Outside. But to finish the thought from earlier, he really became, to me, truly a baseball man in this community during the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby when this crowd cheered and wished for him to be a part of it and then cheered him during the All-Star game.
Now much better approach there. He didn't even budge at that same breaking ball that he had swung at 2 times prior. And now he's got himself back in a 3-2 count.
Talk about reaching. He's got the muscle to take a pitch even in. Outfield very deep, so he can definitely dump one in there. The 3-2. Outside, ball 4. There's your winning run.
Nothing wrong with that. Now Justin Upton with great speed. Well, he could possibly steal second base and score on a base hit. You notice every single pitch out of the zone.
He better get used to that.
Well, that's what Curt Schilling was saying. Curt Schilling said, I'm not going to let Justin Upton beat me when it comes playoff time. He goes, and I don't know of any pitcher that will. So it looks like, from the sounds of what Curt Schilling was saying, Curt Schilling's one of the smartest pitchers I ever knew. Miguel Montero might have to really do some big damage in the playoffs, if indeed the Diamondbacks get there.
Now, Miguel's biggest challenge, if you'll rewind, folks, back to the 8th inning, we'd love to win a prize, all of us. His biggest challenge was trying to be the hero, trying to do too much. Down the line, that one goes. It's in there for a base hit. Here goes Upton, racing on around to third. The winning run is 90 feet away.
That's what we expect from you, Miguel. Just a nice smooth swing. Go ahead and rip it down the right field line. And move Justin Upton all the way over to third base. This throw almost gets away there. Upton going all the way. He sees it. A good read. Look at the speed for the big fella. That's a very big man running that fast. And since it's Saturday, there's a lot of people that are very happy Justin decided to play baseball. Can you imagine him as a tailback?
Yeah, I'd be
he
very
would put
scared
a hurting on some people.
The defenders. Orlando Hudson wants to know exactly how to handle things. He'll come in and talk with Brock.
I don't know what Orlando's trying to do. I think they're wanting to know, do you want the middle infielders playing double play depth? No, they're going to walk Jeff Blum and pitch to Chris Young.
Here we go again.
Interesting.
Now what you do is you take a very inexperienced pitcher and you force him to throw strikes.
Pretty much. That's what you're doing.
He can't be creative.
Chris Young has been in this many times, not only this year, but in the last 4 years. He has been a very clutch player for the Arizona Diamondbacks since he got here in 2006. And basically, Bud Black is telling Chris Young, I think I can get you out.
And he may have another weapon to use to get him out.
Well, let's see what he's got. There's some weapons also for Kirk Gibson. Looks like he's going to make a move. He's going to make a double switch. And then they're going to bring in a left-hander to face Chris Young. Brock is going to leave. That was Joe Thatcher, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, but I don't really understand why you do that.
Well, you'll probably have to look up the career numbers, Chris Young versus Joe Thatcher.
He hasn't made a move yet, though.
Well, I thought he made a double switch. I thought somebody came out there to play first base.
And there may be a new first
that's
baseman.
Rizzo. That's Rizzo, so that means there's got to be a double switch. Well, maybe not. Maybe just change first baseman. That's what he's doing. He's going to go with 5 infielders. He's going with 5 infielders, folks. He's going to leave the right-hander. He's bringing in Rizzo, the young stud first baseman that they traded Adrian Gonzalez for. That's him right there. And now you got 4 other guys over there. So they've got 5 infielders to try to cut this run off at the plate. Bases loaded. 1 out. Chris Young in familiar territory.
Chris Young has 5 walk-off hits in his career. All of them have been homers.
All you need is a lousy single or even a lousy fly ball. Great speed at third. Even a shallow fly ball may do it. There are only 2 outfielders out there
outside,
for the
1-0 the count.
There is only a center fielder and a left fielder. There is nobody in right field. You can see there's nobody in right field. 5 infielders, 2 outfielders, a catcher and a pitcher. Let's play some ball.
This is an old Mike Scioscia move. He does it a lot as the Angels manager. Remember, Black was his understudy and his pitching coach for years. Scioscia regularly employs this defense.
1-0 to Chris Young. He laid off a tough slider. He's going to get another one.
The 1-0 to Young. Outside. 2-0 the count. You're forcing him to throw strikes.
Only your 5th game in the major leagues. You got a sellout crowd going ballistic. One pitch in one spot if you're Chris Young. It's got to be a fastball in the middle of the plate. Anything else, let it pass.
The 2-0, it's over the outside corner. That wasn't it. 2-1 the count.
I think it's still fastball time here. You can almost have the same approach here.
Outside, 3-1.
He went with the slider. He missed by 3 feet. Yeah, talk to yourself, see why. It's the same thing. One pitch in one spot. Anything else, you let it pass. This place is going nuts.
The 3-1. Swing and a miss. He tried to hit it out of here.
He got the pitch he was looking for. That was a fastball right down the middle. Unable to do anything with it. We'll do it again here on 3-2. Ah, this is big league, folks.
Fouled it off. We'll do it one more time. Full count, 1 out.
Challenged him right down the middle again. This time able to just nick it foul. And we'll add to the drama.
Another 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3.
Got him to chase ball 4 up and in. Chris Young cannot come through. And Bud Black is on his way to the mound. He's going to make a pitching change, it looks like. Yeah, he got him to chase one up and in. So he missed the 2 fastballs in the middle of the plate that could have ended the game, and then he missed one out of the strike zone. So Brock comes through. That's a youngster beating a veteran at his own game.
Be here playing on. Remember, in his early days as a Diamondback, this year he beat Roy Halladay late. Tonight, he did this late to tie the ball game up over the outstretched glove of Denorfia, off it into the seats. And he electrified this crowd. He faces the veteran Joe Thatcher, who's had a tough go of it, battling health. Lefty on lefty, a tall task. Andy Perino is in right field. Breaking ball, runs it in. 1-0 the count. Thatcher, like Joe Patterson, comes down low.
He throws a fastball in the mid to high 80s. It cuts. Everything will be going away from the left-handed hitter. He's 1-0 on Lyle Overbay. Two
2-0 the count. There's a ton of room in right center field for Overbay to work with.
I love seeing Chris Young. He couldn't come through. He's on the top step rooting for his teammate Lyle Overbay, his newest teammate. Can Thatcher throw a strike?
Bases full, the 2-0. Outside, 3-0.
Close pitch. Thatcher wanting to know, Mike DeMuro, where was it? And now the fans come to their feet. One wide one away from a walk-off walk.
The 3-0 to Lyle. That'll do it. The Diamondbacks win. The magic number is in single digits. It is down to 9. They lead and pass the Milwaukee Brewers for the best record in the National League with 16 left to go. And on a night when walk-offs were celebrated from a decade ago, certainly a celebration tonight. Meantime, we have the umpires not leaving the field. We do have an appeal out there at third base. What are we appealing here on ball 4?
Whether somebody touched third, I don't know.
The umpires are discussing it. Did someone pass someone on the base pads? That'll do it. All right, Buddy Black's hot. He's coming on out. Question is, before Upton eased into home plate, did someone head off the base pads? What exactly occurred? They'll discuss it. Doesn't change the fact that the Diamondbacks win.
Well, Diamondbacks, get off the field. Guys, just get off the field, guys. Okay, Montero. Oh, he didn't. Well, okay, now, yeah, Montero didn't touch third, evidently.
Well, he just ran right out of the baseline before Upton had touched the plate.
Well, and Bud Black is now still talking to the umpires. Now it's just a matter of, does it matter? Does that base need to be touched?
Let's get it on down to Brad and Lyle Overbay. Let's make this thing official. Hurry, Brad, interview him.
Well, thanks. An incredible night to be a Diamondbacks fan. I don't care if you wear purple or Sedona red. A great effort. Another come-from-behind win for this team. They're 42nd of the year. You know, they say a hit's as good as a walk's as good as a hit, and that certainly was the case tonight. It was worth the win as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's. I knew that he was. I mean, he's going to try to get some fastballs, and then he got behind, threw a slider, and then I mean, obviously Rio has got to come with fastball, and they just got out there. So
the perfect guy to talk to, the bridge between past and present on a night where 48,000 fans honored that 2001 World Series team, the team that you were a part of. The energy was every bit like it was in Game 7 of the World Series. How special was it for you and this club to wear purple and to win tonight?
Well, I mean, we requested to wear it again. So, I mean, that's just shows you what this team's all about, and what we just wanted to kind of give these guys support to the 2001. And it's good to see those guys, and a lot of fun.
Let's talk about the bottom of the ninth. Chris Young has that home run, a solo shot. You come up. What did you see? What was your thinking in that at bat?
The biggest thing, I mean, he just threw a slider to Chris Young, and so I felt that he was just going to try to throw the fastball and try to get me to pop up or something, and I just got enough barrel on it to get it out of the ballpark.
Most of the fans here and watching on Fox Sports Heroes know that you were out of baseball for a while. How incredible is this run for you to have been thinking maybe your career was over, and all of a sudden now you're right in the thick of an incredible pennant race?
Well, you never wish anything bad on anybody, and X going down, it's something that you, like I said, you don't wish for, but opportunity opened for me, and I'm just glad to be here and helping out. I mean, that's what it's all about. These guys made me feel real comfortable here.
The Brewers lost again. You guys won again. Now you have a half-game lead. How important would home field advantage be in the playoffs for this team?
Well, I mean, when you get 47,000 fans in front of you on your feet and in the bottom of the 10th and cheering for you, it's well worth it. So we're going to go after it.
Lyle Overbay, a solo home run and a walk-off walk. Great stuff. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Guys, we'll send it back to you.
A big round of applause down below. That interview was heard in-house as well. This is what it all means, and they're just about done. 2 LAs leading San Francisco. That magic number could go to 8. The home field, the Diamondbacks have now passed the Brewers. The key is now they're the hunted. They have to keep spot. Don't you think Milwaukee's looking to get hot soon? What a special night. Lyle Overbay back in purple. We got a lot to talk about in the post-game show, and we will do so after the break.